Hey guys, welcome to Green Bean Fiction. So in today's video we are gonna see, what if Deku son of Mandalay had power of Incineroar? Movie. This story is Izuku Incineroar by Cap Lycanrock 24. Before starting, make sure to hit that like button, as your one like motivates me to bring more stories, and subscribe the channel if you are new so you won't miss our latest videos. Shino Sosaki, better known as Mandalay of the Wild Pussycats, was in her room, feeling very sad. The reason? A few days ago, her future husband, Hisashi Midoriya, passed away while working as a hero, rescuing several civilians from a collapsing building. Unfortunately, he was unable to escape the collapse in time, dying from the large debris that fell on him. Now, the members of your team, Ryuko Tsuchikawa, known as the heroine Pixie Bob, Tomoko Shiratoko, also known as Ragdoll, and Yawara Chitora, known as Tiger. Everyone was standing by Shino's bedroom door waiting for him to come out. Of course, still no results. Ryuko: I think we should give him time. Tomoko: but she's barely eaten anything for 3 days, it could be bad for her health. Chitora: that's right, she can't stay like this any longer, she needs to go outside and get some sun. But then Shino came out of his room. Ryuko: Shino, how are you feeling? Shinny: well, just a little nausea. Oh god, quickly went to the bathroom and vomited. The three of them went to see the Tomoko: I told you it was bad for her health, looking worried at her friend. Chitora: I think we should take her to the hospital. Shino: No, I'm fine, washing his mouth. Ryuko: Shino, we need to take you to the hospital. It's not good for your health if you continue like this. After thinking about it for a few seconds, Shino agreed and they all went to the hospital. After some tests, the doctor came out with the results. Shino: what are my results, doctor? Doctor: well, there's nothing wrong with it besides your diet, so I'll give you a diet plan so you can get back to eating better. Shino: I see, doctor. It's also very important that you eat well if you want the baby to be healthy. Lot 4. Doctor. It seems you didn't know. Showed her the results. Congratulations, you're pregnant, Miss Sosaki. Shino: I'm pregnant. She saw the results and shed a few tears. Tomoko: oh, we're going to take care of a little kitten. Ryuko Chitora: congratulations Shino. Shino could only hold her belly and smile through a few tears. Shino: thank you. 5 months later, Shino, Ryuko, and Tomoko were at the hospital to find out the baby's sex. Shino: I hope they don't take too long, I don't want to leave Chitora with all the paperwork. Ryuko: rather, leave us alone. You can't move much, remember. Shino: hee, true. Nurse: Miss Sosaki? She asked, and Shino and the others helped her up. Shino: it's me, nurse. Please come in. After a few minutes the doctor applied the gel and began to look at the ultrasound. Tomoko: do you see anything, doctor? Doctor: well, if you look this way, it's a child. Shino: child, smiles. Tomoko: yes. Hey, Ryuko, smiling. Ryuko: Tisk gave him some bills. Shino: hey, looking at the doctor. That's strange. Looking at the screen. Shino: is something wrong? Doctor: well, it could be because of your hair or the screen. Tell me, does anyone in your family have a mutant quirk? Shino: mutant quirk. Remembers, well, my grandfather had a tiger quirk. What's so special about that? Doctor: well, it seems your son inherited it. Pointed at the screen. If you look here, it seems these are his ears and his tail. The three of them saw what looked like ears and a tail on the baby on the screen. Tomoko: we're going to take care of a kitten, literally, hee. Ryuko: I can't wait to see it. Shino: yes, hee, I stroke her belly, a little kitten. 9th month. Ryuko, Tomoko, and Chitora were at the hospital waiting for news about Shino and the baby. While they waited, Ryuko talked to Shino's sister. Sister: Shino, so call me when you know anything about Shino and the baby. Ryuko: sure, we'll call you later. Shino: okay, see you later. Hangs up. Then the doctor came out and the three of them saw him. Ryuko: how is he? Did it go well? She grabbed the doctor by the shoulders and shook him. Answer me. Chitara. Quiet Ryoko, the doctor's separation. Doctor. Don't worry, everything went very well. Everyone sighed with relief. Tomoko. Can we go in and see her? The doctor nodded and they went to see her. Shino. Sees them pass by. Hello, smiles, come here, I want to introduce you to someone. They all came closer and saw the baby who had green streaks in his hair, ears, and a tail. Tomoko. Ah, Chitara. It's very cute. Ryoko. And what will you call it? Shino. Saw the baby. Izuku. Izuku. Sosaki hugged Izuku. I'm going to take very good care of him. Hazashi. A few months after Shino gave birth, everyone was in Izuku's room watching him in the crib. Tomoko. How cute he is, looking at Izuku. Shino. Yes, hee. Ryoko. Look, Izuku shows a cat plushie. Do you like it? Izuku only stretched his arms a little towards the plushie. Ryoko. Ah, here you go, kitty. She placed the plushie next to him. Izuku just hugged the plushie and yawned. Shino. Okay, it's time to sleep, Izuku. She started rocking the crib. Izuku just started to sleep hugging the plushie. 1 year. Izuku was asleep on the living room floor. Tomoko. Isn't it bad that he's lying there? She saw Shino. Shino. I always take him to his bed, but sometimes he runs away to sleep on the floor. Maybe it's because of his quirk that he likes to sleep in different places. Chitara. So it really is a cat. Shino. Approached Izuku. Izuku. He crouched down. Izuku. Nya rubs his eyes. Shibo. Let's go upstairs. Kitty picks him up. You have to eat. Takes him to the kitchen. 2 years. Tomoko and Ryoko were watching television in the living room with Izuku when an idea occurred to them. Ryoko. Do you think the same as me? She looked at Tomoko and then at Izuku. Tomoko. I think so. He smiled and looked at Izuku. Izuku. Taking a sip of his juice. A few minutes later. Ryoko. Now go to your mom. Izuku. He went to his mother who was in the kitchen. Tomoko. Maybe she'll be angry with us. She looked at Ryoko. Ryoko. No creo. With Izuku and Shino. Shino was cooking when he felt something tug at his pants. Shino. Looks down and sees Izuku. Oh, hi Izuku, what's WRI? Sees what he has around his neck. Shino. Who put that on you, darling? Izuku. Aunt Ruko and Aunt Tomoku, the aforementioned women, who were behind the door listening, shuddered. Shino. I see. Takes a newspaper and rolls it up. Wait here. Izuku gives him a sweet and left. Come here. Ryoko. Tomoko. It was a joke. They shouted while being chased by Shino. Izuku just went to the living room and watched TV while eating his candy. Chitara. Arriving with Izuku. Hi Izuku, what are you looking at? She looked at the television and saw that it was on the wrestling channel. I don't think it's good for me to see that. I take control and change the channel to something more appropriate for Izuku. Izuku. He saw Chitara with an angry face. Chitara. It's okay, calm down. She puts the wrestling channel back on. Well, I don't think it'll hurt him to watch just this fight. 3 years. Izuku was in the living room drawing while his mother sat on the sofa reading a magazine. Izuku. He put down his crayons and approached his mom. He tried to climb onto the sofa but fell. Ouch. Shino. He saw it. Izuku. Tried again but fell. He tried again and as he was about to fall his nails came out in the form of claws. Then he grabbed onto the sofa and finally sat down there. Yes. Shino. Does he have retractable nails? She looked at him impressed. Come here, Izuku. She put him on her lap. Are you hungry? Izuku shook his head. Then, what do you want to do? Izuku. I don't know. He thought for a few seconds. Oh, I want to see the fights. Shino. The wrestling. He actually liked it. Okay, he takes the remote and looks for the wrestling channel. I'll only allow it this once. Izuku. Yes. So the two of them started watching the fights, and after a few minutes Ryoko, Tomoko, and Chitara joined them. 4 years. Izuku was in his bed with a high fever. Shino. Let's see. She took the thermometer and looked at it. 39 degrees. You'd better rest, Izuku. She put a wet cloth on his forehead. I'm going to make you something to eat. I'll be right back. She left. Izuku. Hot. He uncovered himself a little, Ryoko. Entering the room, hello Izuku, approached him, your mom asked me to keep an eye on you. How are you feeling? Izuku. It's hot. Ryoko. Let's see. She turned on the air conditioning. Let me clean you up. She lifted Izuku slightly and took off his shirt. You're very sweaty. She took a towel and wiped the sweat off him. While Ryoko was cleaning Izuku, he felt a tingling sensation in his arm, and the warmth he felt spread to his hand. He looked at his hand, and Ryoko saw him. Ryoko. What's wrong? Suddenly, Izuku's hand was covered in flames, frightening Ryoko. Ryoko. She stepped back a little and saw what happened. You just created fire. Izuku. Looked at his hand, the heat is gone and now it's in his hand. Ryoko. Wait, you have 2 quirks. She looked at Izuku. No. That can't be. She thought for a moment, could it be? Is it part of your tiger quirk? Afterwards they went to the hospital where they explained more about Izuku's quirk, taught him how to control the flames, and some precautions to avoid any accidents the little boy might cause. Shino. It's incredible, Izuku, you're so strong. She said while picking him up and kissing his cheek. Izuku. Gee, Ryoko. I'm sure you'll be a great hero, Izuku. Izuku. A hero. He saw her. Tomoko. Don't you want to be one? Izuku. I don't know, he said thoughtfully. Chitora. Well, there's still time for you to decide that, and if you don't want to be one, that's fine too. Tomoko. That's right, it's your decision after all. Shino. And no matter what you choose, I'll be very proud. She smiles and hugs Izuku. Izuku. Gee, 5 years. Shino. Come on Izuku, don't move around so much, she said while putting on his uniform. It's your first day of school, you have to look presentable. Izuku. I don't like wearing this hat, it bothers my ears. Shino. I know, but we couldn't find one with holes for your ears. But don't worry, you'll only need to wear it for a few minutes, then you can take it off, finishing adding it and you're all set. Tomoko. But he's so handsome, smiling at Izuku. I'm sure you'll win over a girl soon, hehe. Ryoko. If she finds a partner before me, I won't believe it. Shino. Okay, then we'll go. She takes Izuku's hand. See you later, girls. Izuku. Goodbye, he said goodbye to his aunts and uncle. Chitora. Have a good one, Izuku. Ryoko. Be kind to your classmates and teachers. Tomoko. And make lots of friends. So Shino and Izuku went to school. 4 years had passed. Izuku was now 9 years old and was in the hospital with his family. The reason? Her aunt, her mother's sister, was giving birth right then. So everyone was at the hospital to meet the baby. Izuku. Playing with some dolls, Tomoko. Playing with Izuku, aren't you excited, Izuku? You're going to have a little cousin. Izuku. Yes, I am, wagging his tail, I want to meet him. Shino. Hehe, it'll be a while before we meet him, Izuku. Be patient. She pats his head. Tomoko. By the way, how's your friend Jirro doing, Izuku? From what you told us, she's already learned to play a lot of instruments. Izuku. Yes, she already knows how to play many instruments and she does it very well. Ryoko. Oh, you're very happy for her, aren't you? Izuku. Yes. Tomoko. I think he already has a girlfriend, hehe. Ryoko. Well, that little girl Jirro isn't going to have the kitten so easily, hugging her nephew. Shino. Ryoko, looking at her, are you jealous because Izuku is going to have a partner and you're not? Ryoko. You're lucky we're in a hospital, looking at her friend. After a few hours, finally, Shino's sister reportedly gave birth to a baby boy with some black streaks in his hair. Shino. Come and see him. Everyone came closer to see the baby. Shino. He's so cute, sister. Looking at the baby and then at Izuku, come on, Izuku, get a grip. Izuku approached his aunt. Shino. Look, it's your cousin Izuku. She lowered the baby a little so Izuku could see him better. Izuku. Oh, what's her name? He saw his aunt. Shino. Her name is Kota. Kota Izumi smiled. Izuku. Hi Kota, he saw his cousin. Shino. Hehe. 5 years later. A few months after his parents' funeral, Kota was unpacking his things in Izuku's room, and Izuku was helping him. Izuku. And with that, we're done. He moved the boxes aside. And, what do you want to do? He looked at Kota. Kota shrugs. I don't know. Watch TV. Izuku. Okay. He gave the remote to Kota. Mom and the others will be late anyway, so we can sleep in. Kota took control of the television and began searching for something that would catch his attention. Kota. Izuku. Are you going to be a hero? Izuku. Well, I don't know yet. He thought for a moment. I still have a year before I graduate from middle school, but I haven't decided what career to pursue yet. Kota. If you're going to be a hero, I think you'll be the only one I don't hate. Izuku. What don't I hate? Kota. You hate heroes. Kota. Heroes and villains killing each other, like idiots, that's why they end up like this, voice breaking. Izuku just looked at him sadly. Izuku. Kota. Do you hate your parents? Kota. Should I look at him? What? And no, of course not, I deny it. Izuku. They were heroes too. Do you hate them too? Kota. No, I don't hate them, he answered quickly. Izuku. So, I'm not saying you should hate all heroes, just respect the ones you believe deserve to be loved and remembered, like your parents. Kota just stared for a few seconds until he burst into tears. Izuku. Come here, hugs him. Maybe they're gone, but you're not alone, Kota. My mom, Aunt Ryoko, Tomoko, Uncle Chitora and I are still here. After a few minutes, Kota calmed down. Izuku. Better. He saw it. Kota. Yes, rubbed his eyes. Izuku. And about being a hero, well, I don't know yet. I don't hate them or anything like that, I just don't know if I'll ever be a hero. Kota. So you're interested in wrestling, you could be a wrestler. Izuku. Raised his ears. A fighter. Maybe I'll think about it. 1 year later, at the house of the wild pussycats at night, Izuku entered the house through the door without making a sound. Izuku. They seem to be asleep, he thought as he carefully closed the door to avoid making noise. Everything was fine, until she got to the living room where the lights came on and her mother turned the chair she was sitting in around her. Shino. So Izuku, what kind of time is this to be arriving? Izuku. Well, you know, traffic, a little nervous, a lot of traffic. Shino. You've been arriving very late every weekend lately. Izuku. Really? I didn't realize. Shino. All right, this is the last time, you hear? Izuku looked at her. If you come back at this hour again, you'll be grounded for the rest of the year. Izuku. But, he was interrupted by his mother. Shino. No video games, no computer, no going out, and no fighter stuff. Izuku looked at her nervously. Understood. Izuku. Yes, lowers his ears. Shino. To your room. She watched Izuku go to his room and then sighed. Oh, Hazashi, what would you do in these situations? She turned off the lights and went to her room. The next morning, everyone was having breakfast while watching television. Kota kept changing channels until he found something good to watch. Until it stopped at a wrestling channel. Announcer. And as a final announcement, the young fighter Incineroar has achieved his 10th consecutive victory. Ryoko. Wow, for being so young, he's very good at fighting. Tomoko. He would have been a great hero, but oh well, everyone makes their own decision. Announcer. Now we bring you the moment of the young wrestler Incineroar's 10th victory. The scene changed, and Incineroar was seen climbing to the top rope while his opponent barely got up from the ground. Commentator. It looks like Incineroar is about to make its final move. Commentator 2. That's right, mate, it looks like it's doing the move. Dark Hyperflace. Incineroar was seen jumping and then, when the dust settled, Incineroar was seen standing with his foot on top of his opponent. Commentator. Incinerate cattle. Incineroar. Haha. ROARG. It let out a great roar, making people applaud. Shino. Wow, it's impressive watching TV. Chitora. He's very good for his age, he must have trained very hard to get where he is. Shino. By the way, Izuku looked at her. Are you going to UA? There are 10 months left before you have to be put away. Izuku. No. I don't think so. Everyone saw him. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate heroes or anything like that, it's just. I think I'll just take online classes. Ryoko. Online. Aren't you going to an academy? Izuku. Well, someone has to look after Kota when they're not around, don't you think? Tomoko. Well, that's true. She took a sip of her coffee. Shino. Well, if that's your decision, fine, but remember, he looked at him, if you get home too late you'll be grounded for a year. Izuku. I understand, a little nervous under his mother's gaze. Besides, maybe I'll work with you at the agency in the future. Drank his juice, or maybe I'll still be a fighter. Izuku was in his classroom at Oruta High School. They were waiting for their teacher. After a few minutes the teacher arrived. Professor. Everyone to your seats. Everyone sat down. Okay, I have some documents with careers you can choose from. Who are we kidding? Everyone wants to be a hero. At that moment, all the students activated their quirks except for Izuku. Professor. Okay, calm down, you know you can't use your quirks. Everyone calmed down. Bakugo. Sensei, don't put me in the same group of extras, I won't be at the bottom like the rejected ones, he said arrogantly. Everyone except Izuku booed him. Bakugo. Extras shouldn't talk, he said mockingly and arrogantly. Professor. Oh right, you're going to UA, right Bakugo? He said, and everyone was surprised. Boy. UA, it's in the top 0.2% this year. Boy too. His acceptance rate is extremely low. Surprised. Bakugo. That's why you guys are extras in the mock exam. I did excellently, and I'll be the only one from this school to get in. I'll surpass All Might and become the strongest hero. Teacher. Oh right, Sosaki, your letter of recommendation has already been sent to UA. Everyone looked at Izuku and Bakugo froze. Izuku. Huh, I thought mom had cancelled it. I guess she forgot. Girl. I thought you weren't interested in being a hero. She said from behind Izuku. Izuku. That's right, my mom must have forget to cancel. He was interrupted while dodging an explosion from Bakugo. Bakugo. How dare you stand in the same place as me? He said, slamming his fist on Izuku's desk. Izuku. He looked at him and sighed. First of all, clean your ears. I think the explosions are affecting your hearing. And second, he looked at him, I won't go to UA, or maybe I'll just go to general studies. I haven't decided yet. Bakugo just looked at him, somewhat angry. Teacher. That's enough, Bakugo, back to your seat. Bakugo returned to his seat. Okay, let's continue with the class. After a few hours, classes ended and everyone left. Izuku. I wonder if Jirro is in the park. He started walking towards the park. When she arrived, she saw Jirro leaning against a tree listening to music. Izuku. Hehe, an idea occurred to him. Jirro. Listening to music. Izuku. Boo. He appeared in front of Jirro hanging upside down. Jirro. Ah, she slapped him. Izuku. Ouch, rubbed his cheek, that hurt. Jirro. Ah, it's you, Izuku. She saw him. Wait. How are you? She saw that Izuku had his tail tied to a tree branch and was hanging there. I thought you were a cat, not a monkey. Izuku. I'm a tiger. He saw her, and I've been training hard to do this. He got off. What are you doing? Jirro. Nothing, I was just listening to music. Izuku. Saw her. Now that I remember, you're going to UA, right? Jirro. Yes, to the hero department. He saw him. Aren't you going? Izuku. Well, I'm thinking of enrolling in general courses, or taking online classes, so I could help out by taking care of Kota for my mom. Jirro. I understand, what a shame we could be in the same class. I guess I should get another feline friend, she said mockingly. Izuku. Don't make me feel bad. He looked at her. Besides, you're not going to find another cat better than me. He rested his head on Jirro's legs. Jirro. Fine, I'll let it slide this time, idiot. She strokes Izuku's hair. Izuku. I know you love me. Twitched his ears. Jirro. Hey, smiles and strokes Izuku's ears. Yes. I love you, silly. Izuku. Gee. They stayed like that for a few minutes until Izuku had an idea. Izuku. Do you want to go to the arcade? He saw her. Jirro. Okay, it's been a while since I've been there. They both got up and headed towards the arcade. When they arrived, they started playing different kinds of games, dancing games, shooting games, and many more. When claw machines arrived, Jirro saw a plush toy that caught his attention. Izuku. What's wrong? He saw her. Jirro. Oh, nothing, it's just that this plushie is of a wrestler my dad loves, pointed at the plushie. Izuku. Do you like Incineroar? Jirro nodded. I didn't think Mr. Kyozu was a fan of mine. Jirro. I'm going to try to get it. Takes out some coins. A few minutes later, after several failed attempts, Jirro complained, I can't get it. Izuku. She was always bad at these games, whispers softly, but Jirro hears him and stabs him with a jack. Jirro. You try it. He looked at him defiantly. Kitten. Izuku. And if I pull it out, what do I gain? He looked at her curiously. Jirro approached him. First I'll take it out and then I'll give you your reward. Looked at him with a challenging gaze. Izuku. Okay, takes out some coins. After about 5 failed attempts. Jirro. Too bad, the kitten can't get a plushie, she said mockingly, but fell silent upon hearing the machine's winning sound. Izuku. Here you go. He gave it to Jirro and gave a cat-like grin. I think I won something, didn't I? He asked mockingly. Jirro. Tisk, fine, I admit I lost. Puts away the plushie. Come here. Gestures for her to come closer. Izuku. Approached. And what are you going to give me? He saw her. Jirro simply took his cheeks in his hands and kissed him there. Jirro. That he saw it, but don't get your hopes up so fast, kitty. He smiled. Win me over properly. He started walking. Izuku just watched her leave, and then his tail bristled. Later at Izuku's house, he was still coming in with his tail bristling. Shino. Saw him. Oh, welcome Izuku. Saw him. Are you feeling alright? Izuku. Yes, I'm fine. He approached his mother. Shino. Are you really feeling okay? Izuku. Yes, I just want to ask you something. He looked at her. Shino. Okay, what do you want to ask me? Izuku. What do you do when your best friend kisses you on the cheek? He asked, perking up his ears and blushing slightly, and tells you to win her over properly. Shino looked at him in surprise, then smiled. Shino. My son is going to have a girlfriend, hee. After saying that, Ryuko appeared with messy hair and still in her pajamas. Ryuko. Who dares to flirt with the kitten? Annoying auntie. Shino was finishing up the paperwork while she had a 1-year-old Izuku next to her in his crib. Shino. Finally putting away the documents. I'm done. She saw Izuku looking at his plushie, hee. Izuku. Ba, biting his plushie. Shino. Hee approached him. Don't bite him. Izuku picked him up. How about we go eat? Izuku. Food. They both went to the kitchen. Shino. Let's see. I look for Izuku's food. I thought I saw some porridge around here. Oh, here it is. I sit Izuku in his chair and open the porridge. Let's eat. When they finished eating, Shino went to the living room and saw Ryuko asleep on the sofa. Shino. Hee. I put Izuku on top of her. Izuku. He touched Ryuko's cheeks and moved them. Ryuko. Z's let me sleep. Z's. Izuku just kept pulling Ryuko's cheeks. Shino. I guess you'll stay like that for a while. Hee smiled and left. Izuku left Ryuko's face. Izuku. Yum. He settled in and lay down on Ryuko's stomach. Nya. A few minutes later, Ryuko was waking up, but when she got up she felt something in her abdomen. Ryuko. She looked at Izuku, who was asleep on her stomach. Oh, shoot. Izuku Z's moved his tail a little. Ryuko. How do I get out of this now? I think of some way to move Izuku without waking him up. Shino. You seem to be enjoying this, she said as she peeked out from the kitchen. Ryuko. Move your son. She saw her. Shino. I can't. Smiled. Innocently. I wanted to be with you so I left him there. I don't want to wake him up. He looks so cute. Hee. Ryuko. Saw him leaving. Hey, come back. Damn, he's gone. Looked at Izuku and sighed. Damn it. I need to go to the bathroom. Curious. Izuku was in the living room playing peacefully with some blocks until he saw the robot vacuum cleaner passing by where he was. Izuku just stared at the vacuum cleaner. Izuku. Ba started chasing the vacuum cleaner. He chased the vacuum cleaner for a few minutes, and when he caught it, he climbed on and sat down. Izuku. He sat there while the vacuum cleaner walked him around. Tomoko. Entering the house. I really did a lot of running today. She saw Izuku walk past her. Izuku. Saw her. Was taken by the vacuum cleaner. Tomoko. Okay. The next day, Izuku was looking at something that undoubtedly fascinated him, a box. He stared at her with a gleam in his eyes as he observed her, turning the box over and inspecting it. Izuku took a pillow from the sofa and his blanket. First he put his pillow and blanket in the box, then he tried to get into the box. Claro didn't manage it at first, but after a little effort he was able to get into the box. Izuku just settled in and lay down. A few minutes later, Shino. Izuku. Looking for him. Where could he be? She went to the living room and saw her friends. Girls, have you seen Izuku? They didn't answer him. Shino. Hey, I'm talking to you girls. He approached them. Why aren't you answering me? He saw his son in the box. All three. How cute. Pillow fort. Chitara was watching a 2-year-old Izuku build a pillow fort. When Izuku placed the last pillow on top of the fort, it collapsed. He just watched as she collapsed, then puffed out his little cheeks in anger. Chitara. Hey, she approached him. Let me help you. After a few minutes they finished the fort, although this time they also used some chairs and sheets to do it. Izuku just stared with shining eyes at the fort they had just built. Izuku. Enters the fort. Whoa. Izuku simply left the fort and took Chitara's hand, trying to pull her back inside. Chitara. Do you want me to come in? She saw him. Izuku. Hey, nodding. Chitara entered and sat down. Izuku. Wait here, he told his aunt and left. After a few minutes, Izuku arrived at the fort with his mother and aunts. Izuku. Mila points to the fort. Shino. It's very beautiful, Izuku. She looked at the fort and then at her son. Izuku. Chio Katora mi Iulo entro con Chitara. Ryoko. Well, it turned out really well, hehe. Tomoko. That's right, very nice hehe. Izuku just smiled, then looked at the Izuku. He saw his mother and aunts. Shino. I don't think we'll be going in, Izuku. Ryoko. It's something small. Tomoko. See. Izuku just saw them and then saw his uncle Chitara. Chitara. Do what Izuku taught you. She looked at him and smiled. Izuku simply nodded and turned his gaze back to his mother and aunts. Izuku used cute kitten eyes. The three of them saw Izuku. Wow, he's so cute. It was super effective. Now the four of them were inside the fort where they all played together. 9 months had passed. During that time Incineroar became more popular. One could even say that his popularity is almost the same as the top heroes. Some also said that he should enter an academy to become a hero. During those months, Kyoka asked Izuku for help training so she could be ready for the UA entrance exam. So, to improve their physical condition, they both decided to clean Dagoba Beach, which had become a garbage dump since many people were using the place to throw their things away. By the 9th month they had finished cleaning the beach. Jirro. We're finally done, he said while wiping away his sweat. Izuku. Yep, he took out some water bottles and gave one to Jirro. You're in better physical shape now, so the physical test will be easier for you. You just need to study more and you'll be ready for the exam. He sat down next to her. Jirro. Just studying, drank her water bottle. Well. We're finished here, what do we do now? Izuku. I don't know. Do you want to go somewhere? Jirro. I don't know. She approached him. Maybe you can tell me a secret. She looked at him. Izuki. A secret. He saw her. I don't know what you mean. Jirro. Moved closer. Maybe. About a wrestler. Touched his cheek, who's become very popular lately. Izuku. Did he find out? Are you talking about Incineroar? I don't know why you think I know any of its secrets. Jirro. Maybe it's because you're Incineroar. Izuku looked at her. I found out last month. Izuki. And how did you know? Jirro. When I went to your house, he saw it. I opened a drawer and found your mask. So I assumed you're a fan or you were Incineroar. Izuku. lowered his ears. Please don't tell anyone. He looked at her with pleading eyes. Jirro. Okay, I won't tell anyone, if you help me with a few things. Smiles. Izuku just got nervous. Later at Jiro's house, Kyoka, entering, I'm here. Looks to her side. Come in. Welcome, daughter. She saw Izuku beside her. Izuku. Wow, you've grown a lot. Izuku. It's been a while, Mrs. Jirro. He greets Kyoka's mother. Mika. You know you can call me Mika, I don't mind that. Smiles. And what brings you here? Kyoka. Will you help me with something? She takes Izuku's arm. We'll be in my room if you need anything. Izuku. Excuse me. He was pulled by Kyoka. Mika. Have fun. Smiled. I'm surprised you're not dating yet. He went to the living room. In Kyoka's room, Izuku. Wow, it's a real mess, he said, looking at all the clothes scattered around. Kyoka. Don't judge me, you told me to get up early today to train so I didn't have time to tidy up, she said while picking up the clothes. Help me, okay. Izuku. Okay. After a few minutes of cleaning. Izuku. So why do you need my help? Kyoka. Well, since you have a costume. I wanted to ask you to help me with my hero costume. Izuku. I don't know what happened. Nothing. He sat on the bed. Kyoka. Of course. She takes a notebook from her desk. But since you know so much about quirks, I wanted to see if you have any ideas for improving my suit. She gives him the notebook. Izuku. Looked at the drawing of the suit. Well, if you put a pair of speakers in your boots you could connect your jacks there and create sound waves. Continued looking at the drawing, and maybe something similar on your arms in case you can't use the speakers in your boots. Kyoka. Yavio. Izuku. I also advise you to practice some martial art, so you won't depend so much on the accessories in your quirk. He gave him the notebook. Kyoka. Okay, I put the notebook away. Now come here. I smile. I want to touch your ears. Izuku. Are you sure you're not obsessed with my ears? You're always asking for them. You even did it when we were kids. Kyoka. Shut up and come here. She lunged at him but Izuku dodged her. So that's how you want to play, huh? A few minutes later, Mika. Entering Kyoka's room. Guys, I brought you tea. She saw her daughter on top of Izuku. Izuku and Kyoka. Turning to look at her. Mika. Era. Sorry to interrupt. She puts the tray with the tea on the floor. Don't make too much noise. She left. Izuku. Wait, it's not what you think. Kyoka grabbed his ears. Ow. Kyoka. I'll explain later. Calmly. She strokes Izuku's ears. Izuku simply surrendered and allowed his friend to pet him. A few minutes later everyone was seated in the room. Kyoka. And that's what happened. She finished explaining the previous situation to her mother. Mika. I see. Took a sip of her tea. That's too bad. It would have been nice to have grandchildren as cute as you, she joked, but Izuku choked on the cookie he was eating. Kyoka. Mom, I'm helping Izuku. Mika. Just kidding Gigi. Izuki. Check the time. I think I should go now. He stood up and grabbed his backpack. Mom said if I'm late again, I'll get punished. Mika. Oh, okay. Smiled. Be careful and say hi to Shino for me. Izuku. Sure. Both young men went to the door. Izuku. Remember to study for the exam. He saw Kyoka. Kyoka. Yes, I know. Izuku. Okay, and one more thing. He approached Kyoka and kissed her cheek. Good luck. Kyoka. Silly kitty. Smiled, blushing slightly. Am I interrupting something? Both young people shuddered and turned to look at Kyoka's father, Kyotoku. Izuku. Senor Kyotoku. Kyotoku. Saw him. Izuku. I didn't know you were dating my daughter. Izuku. No. Well, we're not dating. Kyotoku. So, why the kiss? He looked at him somewhat angrily. Izuku. Oh yeah, I have to go home. My mom will punish me if I'm late, so bye. He started walking. Kyotoku. No Hoyas. Kyoka. Get inside the house, old man. She hit her father and dragged him inside. Izuku finished his online classes and then went to the kitchen to eat something. Normally these days she would go out with her friend Jirro, but since she entered UA she has been very busy. With all the exercises and homework from the classes, they could barely go out to relax a little. After making herself something to eat, She went to the living room and saw Kota watching television. Izuku. Are you hungry? He sat down on the sofa. Kota. I'm fine. Changes channel. There's nothing good on. Continued changing channels until he found something. What time is Aunt Shino going to arrive? Izuku. Said they would arrive a little late. He finished his meal and put the plate on the nightstand. Kota. I see. Turned on the wrestling channel. Announcement. Come this Saturday night to see the fight between the young wrestler Incineroar and the professional heroine Mirko. Izuku. I would have completely forgotten about it. Asterisk. Kota. Wow, Incineroar versus a top-tier heroine. Izuku. Yeah, who would have thought? How am I going to get them to let me go? Asterisk. Kota. I'm sure the tickets are sold out by now. Channel change. Izuku. Yeah, it's probably already wait, that's it. Asterisk. Friday night. Shino. Do you want to go to the wrestling matches tomorrow? He asked, looking at his son. Izuku. Yes, I bought the tickets, but since you don't want me to be late, I thought it would be better if we all went. Shino. Well, I don't know. Putting away some documents. Izuku. Please. Looking at his mother. Shino. Looking at Izuku. I don't know. I still think you should continue with your punishment. Izuku. Fine, you leave me no choice, Mom. He knelt down and put his head on his mother's leg. Please. He lowered his ears and made a face. Shino. Looking at him. Izuku. Yes. He looks up. Shino. Well. Ryoko. Oh come on Shino, just tell him yes, he already gave her those puppy dog eyes. Tomoko. She even kneels, hee. Chitora. She must really want to go if she's doing all that, taking a sip of her coffee. Shino. Sighs. Fine, we'll go. He saw Izuku. Izuku. Yes. He stood up. Thank you, Mom. He hugged her. Good night. He went to his room. Shino. Good night. Watching him leave. Tomoko. Her gaze still works even now that she's grown up, hee. Shino. Yeah, I wonder who taught it to her. She looked at Ryoko. Ryoko. Who knows, turns her gaze away. Saturday night. Everyone was arriving at the place where the fight would take place. Tomoko. There is a line, isn't there? She said, looking at the long line. Ryoko. Maybe there are no seats left. Izuku. Oh, don't worry, I managed to get some good seats. He smiled. Follow me. They all followed Izuku to a door that said VIP. Shino. VIP. Where did you get the money to buy them? Izuku. You know, savings hee. When they entered, they took seats and waited for the fight to begin. Izuku. I'll go get some popcorn. Do you want anything? Kota. Some nachos. Shino. Some popcorn and a diet soda. Ryoko. Hot dogs. Pidio, por favor. Ragdoll. Popcorn. Izuku. Okay. When he left the VIP room, he quickly went to his dressing room and put on his suit. Izuku. Okay, I'm ready. He looked at one of the assistants. Is everything ready? Assistant. Yes sir. With my quirk I will create your clone and take you to your family. Izuku. Thanks. Oh, and take them. What's on this list? He gave her the list and left. A few minutes later. Announcer. Welcome everyone to this great day. Today we have a special fight, a fight between the young fighter with 10 consecutive victories. Incineroar. Then a huge fireball fell into the ring. After a few seconds the fire dissipated, revealing Incineroar. Incineroar. ROAG. Roared loudly, making the audience excited. Presenter. And on the other side we have one of the strongest heroines in the top 10. Mirko. Then Mirko jumped into the ring and greeted the crowd. Mirko. Haha, glad to be here. Waving. Then looking at Incineroar. I'm looking forward to a great fight, kid. Referee. Okay, back to your positions. Both went to a corner of the ring. I want a clean fight. Referee. And, begin. I'm not good at narrating fights XD. After saying that, Mirko used the ring ropes to propel himself towards Incineroar while preparing a kick. Upon seeing this, Incineroar ducked, barely dodging the kick. Incineroar. She's fast. She stood up. Because of her fighting style, she uses her legs more. I must say it's an honor to fight you, Miss Mirko. Mirko. Hey, I can say the same, kid. I'm a big wrestling fan. and this past year you're one of my favorite fighters." She prepared to jump. Incineroar. "Wow, what an honor. Then I must go all out." He ignited his fists in flames and launched himself towards Mirko. "Here I go." Mirko jumped towards Incineroar with his leg ready, but as he got close to it, it began to spin on its axis. When Mirko's leg connected with Incineroar, it resisted for a few seconds before separating from him. Mirko. "Phew, I admit that hurt." He puts out the fire on his foot. Incineroar. Stopping spinning. "Honestly, I didn't think I could put up a fight." In the VIP lounge. Shino. "Wow, he fights really well." Watching the fight. Izuku. "Pass me my popcorn." Izuku nodded and handed him the popcorn before continuing to watch the fight. Tomoko. "He's so focused on the fight," she whispered to Ryoko. "He's not even talking." Ryoko. "I guess I really wanted to see the fight." Taking a sip of her soda, then watching Incineroar and Mirko continue fighting. A few minutes later, Incineroar and Mirko were neck and neck, both breathing heavily as they looked at each other. Mirko. "Okay, we have to finish this." He prepared to jump. Incineroar. "I agree." It crouched down and got on all fours. Both of them propelled themselves towards their opponent, preparing their attack, while Incineroar ran and fire began to come out of his mouth. Chitora. "That's asterisk." With Incineroar's fire, a great jaw was created in front of him. Mirko. Incineroar. Axe. Fire. Lunar. Fang. The two attacks collided, creating a large cloud of smoke. When the smoke cleared, they saw both opponents on the ground. Presenter. They both fell. Who will get up first? They waited a few seconds to see who would get up first, but they didn't. The referee signaled to the presenter that neither of them could get up. Presenter. "It's a tie." After a few minutes, people started to leave. Of course, some went to take pictures with Mirko and Incineroar, who were now much better. Incineroar. "Okay, who's next?" He looked at the line and noticed his family was next. Shino. "We continue." They all got together and took the picture. Shino. "Thank you." Chitora. "Good fight, kid." Incineroar. "Thank you." Ryoko. "Are you single?" She approached him. Incineroar. No. No, I have a partner, miss." Ryoko. "Oh, how awful, something sad." Tomoko. "Forgive her, she's that age now. She took her friend away." Ryoko. "I'm 18 at heart." Then the fake Izuku went to the bathroom, and when Incineroar finished with the photos, he went to his dressing room and changed. He quickly went to his family. Izuku. "I'm back," smiling. Shino. "Okay then, let's go home." Kota. Looking at Izuku's face. "Hey, you have something on your face, Izuku." Then everyone saw it and noticed a kiss mark on his cheek. Tomoko. "Oh, so the kitten went to kiss his girlfriend, hee. Izuku. "Huh." He approached a mirror and looked at himself. "Some fan must have left this for me." Ryoko. "Who's that girl?" A little annoyed at the thought that her nephew got a partner before her. Izuku. Chitora. "Come on, say it, Izuku." She patted him on the back. Izuku. Enduring the pain from the fight. Well. Shino. Okay, you can bother him later at home." Everyone went home peacefully. Oh well, except for Izuku being bothered by his family. Time with Auntie. A little 2-year-old Izuku was walking around the house carrying a box on his back. Izuku. Lifts the box slightly to see Nya, sees his aunt Ryoko in the kitchen. Approaches her with the box on top of him. Ryoko. She saw the box moving. Izuku. She saw him approaching her leg. Izuku. Nya. He grabbed onto his aunt's leg. Ryoko. "Hey, very funny," smiles, "but you have to let me go." Izuku. No, he held on with all his might. Ryoko. Okay, she went to the living room with Izuku on her leg. Izuku. When Ryoko arrived in the living room, she sat on the sofa and Izuku climbed up next to her. Ryoko. Okay, what do you want to do? Izuku. He took his blanket and lay down. Ryoko. I guess I'll sleep. He turned on the television and started watching a soap opera. A few hours later, Shino. Ryoko, Izuku, we're here, she said as she entered with Tomoko and Chitora, carrying some bags. Tomoko. Where are they? I put the bags on the table. Chitara. Probably asleep. Shino went to the living room and saw Ryoko asleep with Izuku on her face. Shino. He approached Izuku. Izuku. Waking up, ma. Shino. Come on, let's go to the crib, I pick him up, don't bother your aunt Hihi. Izuku. No, raises his arms to Ryoko, auntie. Ryoko. Waking up, what's wrong? She saw Izuku and Shino, oh, they're here. Shino. Yes, and I think Izuku wants to spend more time with you, she said with Izuku moving in her arms. Ryoko. Okay, give it to me. She raised her arms and Shino gave Izuku to her. Do you want to spend time with auntie? Izuku. You. Ryoko. Okay, then, first let's get some more sleep. She put Izuku next to her and he snuggled up to her. And then we'll go to sleep. Shino. If he stays with her any longer, he'll get lazy. Punishment. Izuku was in the living room watching television peacefully. Tomoko. Puts some cookies on the table in front of Izuku, okay. I just need a few more things to watch my show. She went to the kitchen. Izuku watched his aunt Tomoko leave, then looked at the cookies. Izuku. He approached the cookies and saw them. He approached the kitchen and saw Tomoko still preparing food. Izuku returned to the living room, took the cookies, and went to his room. When he came in, he climbed onto his bed and made a pillow fort, then he went in and started eating the cookies. Shino. Entering Izuku's room, Izuku. She saw the pillow fort and approached, are you in there, Izuku? Izuku jumped and put down the cookies before leaving the fort. Shino. Looking at him, there you are, smiled, are you hungry? Izuku. No. Shino. Well, if you say so, I pet him. If you get hungry, I'll be in the living room with Tomoko watching her soap opera. Izuku nodded and she left. Izuku returned to the fort and ate the cookies again. In the room, Tomoko. Placing a bowl of nachos and some sodas on the table, and I'm ready for my novel. She looked at the things and noticed the cookies weren't there. Did I forget the cookies? I'm sure I took them out. She went back to the kitchen and checked if she'd left them there. That's weird. Tomoko. I'm sure I got them. She thought for a moment and remembered that Izuku was near her. I don't think Izuku took them. Well, with what Ryoko teaches him, it's very likely. She went to Izuku's room and saw Shino on the stairs. Shino. Saw Tomoko go towards Izuku's room. Is something wrong? Tomoko. I just want to check something. Shino, curious, went with her and they both entered Izuku's room. Tomoko. Izuku. He jumped and knocked over the pillow fort. Both women approached and removed the pillows. Tomoko. Aha, I take the empty cookie package, it was you, Izuku, you took the cookies. Izuku just lowers his ears. Shino. Izuku, is it true? She saw him. Izuki. Yes, sob, I'm sorry, sheds a few tears. Tomoko. Don't cry, Izuku. I pick him up, I'm not angry with you. I wipe away his tears. Shino. But, you must still be punished. A few minutes later, Tomoko and Shino were in the living room watching the novel. And Izuku was in the corner of the room looking towards the wall. Amiga. A 4-year-old Izuku was in the park with his mother. He was playing on the slides while Shino sat on a bench watching him. He was playing peacefully until he heard some noises behind some trees. Izuku. He approached and saw some children bothering a purple-haired girl. Give me my guitar. She tried to take the guitar that had been taken from her, but the children just threw it between themselves so that the girl could not take it. Kid 1. You want it? Go get it. I throw the guitar towards a tree. No. Before the guitar hit the tree, Izuku jumped and caught it just in time. Izuki. She stood up and brushed off the dirt. I caught it. The girl approached Izuku. Izuku. Sees her, here, gives the guitar to the girl. I don't think it's broken. Thank you. I pick up the guitar, check it and sigh with relief when I see that it's not broken. Izuku saw the children approaching and stepped in front of the girl. Kid 1. You wanna fight, dwarf? Child 2. It's just a kitten, it'll probably run away before it fights. Izuku was about to get into a fighting stance, but he remembered Chitara telling him that he shouldn't fight unless the situation required it. Izuku. I'm not going to fight. He took the girl's hand and started to leave. Boy 1. Huh, where are you going, dwarf? He lunged to hit him. Izuku's ears perked up and he dodged the blow, then grabbed the boy's arm and began to bend it. Child 1. Ah, Izuku. Uncle Chitora told me not to use too much force if I don't want to break his arm. He saw the other child and breathed fire, scaring him. Go away. He let go of Child 1. Child 1. Who do you think you are? Angry. Shino. Hey, she shouted as she approached them. You'd better calm down and leave if you don't want trouble with a pro hero. The children just saw her and ran away. Shino. Are you alright? She crouched down to Izuku's level. Were you hurt, child? I'm fine. They just pushed me and took my guitar to bother me. Shino. I see. And your parents? The girl was about to say something, but before she could speak, they heard a woman's voice. Question mark question mark question mark. 2. Kyoka. Kyoka. Here, she shouts to her mother. There you are. Approached her. What happened? Are you okay? Checked on her daughter. Kyoka. Yes, Mom, smiled. Some kids were bothering me, but he helped me. Pointed at Izuku. I see, smiled and looked at Izuku. Thank you very much, little one. Izuku. It's nothing, wagging his tail. I was taught to defend whoever needs it. Question mark question mark question mark. 2. Ah, you were raised well, hehe. Shino. That's right, hehe, smiles. Question mark question mark question mark. 2. Oh, where are my manners? I'm Mika. Jirro introduced herself, and this is my daughter Kyoka. Shino. I'm Shino Sosaki and this is my son Izuku. Izuku. Our. Mika. Thank you so much for helping my daughter Izuku, I really appreciate it. Kyoka. Thank you, Izuku. I hope we see each other again someday. Izuku. Yes, me too, twitched his ears. Mika. Well, excuse me, but we have to go. She took her daughter's hand. We hope to see you another day. Goodbye. She left with her daughter. Shino. Goodbye, smiled and looked at Izuku. Looks like you have a friend, hehe. Izuku just saw Kyoka from afar and smiled. Izuku. Yes, smiling. A few months later, news broke that villains had attacked a facility at UA. Luckily, the students were able to defend themselves until All Might arrived. Now Kyoka and Izuku were in his room passing the time. Izuku. I still find it hard to believe that villains would attack UA. Kyoka. Yes, luckily All Might arrived on time. I can't imagine what would have happened if he hadn't. Izuku approached him and stroked his back. Izuku. Are you okay? Kyoka. Yes, I just need to relax. She lay down on Izuku's bed. Your bed is really soft. Izuku. Yes, it is. He smiled. Kyoka. I wonder if you're hiding something, here. I check under the mattress. Izuku. Hey, he saw her. At that moment, Kyoka simply pulls out Izuku's mask. Kyoka. I was expecting something else. Izu. Do you think I'm a pervert or something? I look at her. I'm not that kind of guy. Kyoka. I know you're hiding something, kitty. She put on her mask. Izuku. Maybe she is hiding something. He lay down next to her. Kyoka. And where is it? Izuku got on top of her. Hey. Izuku. Yes. He moved closer to her face. Kyoka. Removed her mask. I'm the only one who can do those things. Izuku. We can make an exception for today. Smiles. Kyoka. Nope. She takes his cheek in her hand and kisses him. Shino. Entering. Guys, lunch is late. He saw them. The boys saw her and separated. Shino. Sorry to interrupt. Looking at them. Lunch is ready. Come when you're finished and don't make too much noise. Izuku. Mom. Shino. Just kidding. She smiled and left. Izuku. We'd better go before my aunts get here. Kyoka. Just a little longer. She kissed him again. Izuku. He slowly put his hand under Kyoka's blouse. Kyoka. Hey. She saw Izuku approach her neck and lick it. Izuku. Hey. She felt Izuku's hand near her breasts. Hey. She pushed Izuku away. Kyoka. I'm sorry, but that's going too far, Izu. She saw Izuku's face turn red. Oh, I see. Mating season. Izuku only started to approach Kyoka. Kyoka. Hey kitty, it's not time for us to do that yet. Bumps into the wall, oh crap. The door was opened by Tomoko, and then Ryoko appeared, pulling Izuku away from Kyoka. Ryoko. I have it. Then Shino came in with some pills and a glass of water. Shino. I knew I was forgetting to give Izuku his pills to take. She put one in Izuku's mouth and started giving him water. That's it, baby. After a few seconds of taking the pill, Izuku began to fall asleep. Ryoko. Okay, she put him on the bed, this kid is heavy. Tomoko. Are you okay? She saw Kyoka blushing, didn't he go too far? Kyoka. No, of course not, she played with her jacks, blushing slightly. Shino. Well, she just needs to sleep a little and she'll be fine. He looked at Kyoka, maybe you should go home. Kyoka. No, I'll wait until he wakes up. She saw Izuku's console and turned it on. I'll play a little until he wakes up. Shino. Well, let me get you something to eat. Kyoka. Thank you. 1 hour and a half later. Izuku was waking up and saw Kyoka playing on her console. Izuku. Kyoka. She turned around, what happened? Kyoka. Oh, nothing, smiles, you just fell asleep a little because of the pill. Izuku. Pills. He saw the package and then understood, oh. I didn't overdo it, right? Kyoka. Just a little bit, she saw him and stuck her tongue out, even so, I need to ask you a favor. Izuku. What is it? He stretched. Kyoka. I need you to train me for the UA Sports Festival, she gets killed in the game, darn it. Izuku. Sports Festival, oh right, that UA event is coming up. Well, I'll help you. He stood next to her. What are you playing? Kyoka. Warzone kills 1, yeah, take that. Kota came in with a plate of food. Kota. You're awake now. He gave the plate to Izuku. Aunt Shino said to eat before it gets cold. Izuku. Oh, thank you. He took the plate and started eating. Izuku and Kyoka spent the rest of the day playing on this console. When they finished playing, Kyoka had to leave so Izuku accompanied her to her house. When Izuku returned, he went into his room and finished his online class assignments. Izuku. I'm finally done, there's a knock at his door, come in. Then his whole family came in. Izuku. What's wrong? He saw them smiling, although Kota was confused by the other's attitude. Shino. Well, are you two dating now? She said simply. Izuku. After a few seconds he understood what his mother meant, oh, well. I don't know. Tomoko. Don't you know? They're even kissing. Kitty. Smiling. Izuku. Well, are we? To be honest, I'm still not sure. Wagging his tail. Ryoko. Well, your tail gives you away, she saw him. Besides, she needs my blessing if she wants to be my nephew's girlfriend. Chitora. Just leave him alone, smiled, these things take time, although it seems they'll be a couple soon. Izuku. Sighs, I'll take those things calmly. He pushes them out of his room, now let me rest. Shino. Take it easy, but he says soon, son, hee. Izuku took them out of his room and then lay down on his bed. After a few minutes, Izuku's cell phone rang. Izuku. Who could it be at this hour? I take out my cell phone and answer, hello. Hello, am I speaking with Incineroar? Izuku. Yes, it's me. Who's speaking? Nezu. I am Principal Nezu of UA. After saying that, Izuku's eyes widened and he jumped a little on his bed. Izuku. And to what do I owe this honor, Director Nezu? Nezu. Hee. Firstly, I want to say that I'm a big fan of your fights surprising Izuku, and secondly, I want to invite you to the UA Sports Festival. Izuku. To the Sports Festival. Not to be rude, but, why would they invite me? I mean, I'm not a pro hero or anything. Nezu. I know, but after your fight with Mirko, your popularity skyrocketed. He said, I think you're a bit more famous than Hawks. Also, I think the younger generation would love to have you participate in the festival. I think some of the hero classes would like to fight you. Izuku. Well, he thought for a moment. Nezu. Of course, you don't need to participate, you can come as a spectator if you want. Izuku thought for a few seconds before deciding. Izuki. Okay, I'll go, I reply. Nezu. Great, I'll send him his invitation by email. He said, I hope to see you soon, young Incineroar. He hung up. Izuku. Approaches the sports festival. A few days later. During those days Izuku helped train Kyoka for the sports festival. Now that the sports festival had begun, the audience listened attentively to this year's announcer with great excitement. Mike. Yeah. The UA Sports Festival begins. And let me guess, you want to see the class that faced some villains with nerves of steel. You came here just to see them. From the Department of Heroes. Class A. Excited shout. The crowd roared with excitement as they watched their most acclaimed class emerge, knowing they would demonstrate their full strength at this sports festival. Mike. Next up is Class B, then Classes C, D, and E from the General Courses Department. He exclaimed as the other classes left, and these are followed by Classes F, G, and H from the Support Department. And then comes the Administration Department. Boy. They treat us like we're just filler, he said to his classmate. Girl. How annoying, she said somewhat angrily. Then Midnight took the stage. Midnight. All right everyone. Looked at the classes, I want fair play. Hero 1. Look at that, it's the +18 heroine Midnight, he said from the stands. It seems she will be the main referee for the first year this time. Hero 2. Where is Principal Nezu? Hero 1. He's supervising the third-year students. Tokiyami. 18+ heroine, when this is an academy, is that okay? Midnight. My presence here is perfectly fine, she said, making a sound with her whip. Mike. Hey Midnight, remember the ad? Midnight. That's right, today for the UA Sports Festival, Principal Nezu decided to invite a special person to compete in this festival. Kaminari. Who will it be? Midnight. Some of you may already know him, a young fighter who achieved 10 consecutive victories and faced the top heroine Mirko, resulting in a tie with her. Kirishima. Wait, do you mean Kyoka? I should have known they'd invite him, smiled slightly. Midnight. The Fire Tiger. Incinerator. The crowd roared with excitement as Izuku appeared from one of the tunnels wearing the UA sports uniform and his mask. Then Izuku went up on stage. Midnight gave him the microphone and then she started touching Izuku's ears. Incineroar. I knew this would happen, with a bead of sweat, ignoring Midnight. Ahem. It's a pleasure to be here today at this great UA event. I just want to say that no matter what class you're in, I hope you all do your best at this festival. The audience cheered excitedly, although some women were jealous of Midnight for touching Incineroar's ears. Incineroar. Miss Midnight. He saw that she was still touching his ears. Aizawa. Hey Midnight, snap out of it. I speak over the loudspeakers. Midnight. Huh, oh yeah, takes the microphone. Thank you for those words, Incineroar. Now, before we begin, let's listen to the speech from the first-year student representative. Katsuki Bakugo. At that moment, Bakugo climbed onto the stage and approached the microphone. Bakugo. I swear, I'll be number 1, everyone. We knew he'd say something like that. Asterisk. Then the other classes started insulting Bakugo. Midnight. Thank you so much for that very inspiring speech. Anyway, let's get started with the first event. The obstacle course. Cheerful announcement. Incineroar. Obstacle course. Midnight. It's a race between all 11 classes. The route is 4 kilometers around the stadium. You can use your quirks however you want as long as you stay on the route. Midnight. Now, everyone to your positions on the starting line. She started to leave but approached Incineroar. See you later, Kitty Chew. She blew him a kiss and left. Incineroar. Goodbye. I really need to be careful around women. Went to the starting line. Midnight. Ready, start. Shout to start the race. Everyone started running, but due to the large number of students, some were blocked at the exit. Incineroar. How narrow. At that moment, its ears perked up, listening to something. Todoroki. I don't have time for this, he said, starting to run and using his quirk to freeze everyone's feet and slide across the icy surface. Boy. It's so cold. Girl. I can't get out of this ice. Boy too. I can't move. While with present Mike. Mike. Hello, hello. Present Mike here. Broadcasting live with my friend, the Mummy Man. Are you ready to comment? Aizawa. Well, you dragged me here by force. He said somewhat angrily. Mike. Now let's see how they're doing in the race. Bakugo. As if that trick would work on me, you bastard. He said, freeing himself from the ice with his explosions and flying away with them. Kirishima. I won't let you get ahead, Todoroki. He said, running after him. More students began to emerge from the ice. Todoroki. Obviously some of my classmates would be able to evade my ice, but I didn't think they'd be capable of doing it. He looked back at his classmates but then saw Incineroar running on all fours, managing to get past him. Incineroar. Unless you want to be eaten, let the tiger pass. He said while leaving something behind the others. Mike. That kid is fast. Is he part jaguar too? As Incineroar ran in front of him, several robots appeared. Robots. Multiple targets detected. Incineroar. Robots. Dodging a robot's attack and destroying it. This might be useful. Taking a large piece of metal from the robot. Mike. They're in the first test. The Inferno. Todoroki. The robots from the entrance exam. At that point, several one-point robots attacked the contestants. Luckily, they were able to put up a fight, but they hadn't counted on the 0-point robots appearing as well. Incineroar. Where do they get the money for this stuff? Todoroki. They should have at least tried harder if they wanted to get in my way, he thought while touching the ground. The old man is watching. He sent a large wave of ice that froze a 0-point robot and 1-point robots. Boy. Did you see? He cleared the way for us. Todoroki. I don't know, I don't recommend them. I froze him in a very unstable position, he said while running. The frozen 0 points began to fall, taking other 0 points with it. Mike. Shoto Todoroki from Class A has blocked the path and now has the advantage. It seems a little unfair. By then, some had already reached the second test. Mike. Alright ladies, if you think the first obstacle was easy, what do you think of the second test? He asked. If you fall, you're out. We call it the fall. Referring to the cliff. Suyu. Hiro. She jumped high and grabbed the rope. This is easy for me, starting to climb the rope. A girl with pink hair also drove by, propelling herself with one of her inventions. Uraraka. I won't lose here, she said as she removed the gravity. Mina. This isn't my element. On the other side of the cliff, Todoroki emerged victorious from the second obstacle and, with Bakugo nearby, ran until he reached an empty courtyard, where he instinctively stopped. Mike. This is the final test. The minefield. I exclaimed. Watch your step. Todoroki. So this was done so those who were left behind would have an advantage to move forward, he thought as he walked through the minefield. Bakugo. This means nothing. He started propelling himself with his explosions. You declared war on the wrong guy. Mike. And the ringleader has changed. Rejoice. Media. These tense moments are. Wait, what is that? Both boys who were in the front looked back and saw someone flying over a metal plate until it passed over them, surprised when they saw Incineroar on the plate. Todoroki. Incinerate. Bakugo. Ah, Incineroar. If they always do something like this here, maybe I'll reconsider joining UA. Yay. Excited shout. Minutes before, Incineroar had already arrived at the third trial but saw all the students. Incineroar. I won't make it on time like this. I know. He started gathering mines with the metal plate. Kyoka. Watching him. He's going to do one of his crazy things again, hehe. Present. Incineroar. That was incredible. He thought excitedly, feeling the wind on his face although he didn't think about the landing. Asterisk. Bakugo. Don't you dare go in front of me, flea-ridden brat. He screams, flying through the air with his explosions. Todoroki. I would clear the way for the others, but this is more important, he said, freezing the ground and running across it. Mike. Bakugo and Todoroki have stopped fighting to get ahead of Incineroar. Incineroar. I'm already falling. It started spinning in the air. If they pass me, I won't be able to catch them. So it spun in the air and slammed its plate hard against the ground. I won't let them pass. Boom. Mike. Incineroar managed to take the lead with a huge explosion. Damn it, Eraser, who taught this kid? Wouldn't you want him in your class? Eraser. I admit he has talent, although according to him, he's not interested in being a hero. It's a shame, he could be one of the best. P. Mike. Woo. Who would have predicted this outcome when the race started? Eraser. Are you ignoring me? P. Mike. And the winner of this first event is Incineroar. The crowd roared with excitement. Todoroki and Bakugo came in second and third place, respectively. Bakugo. Damn it. More contestants began to arrive. Midnight. The 42 at the top have managed to advance, and now for the second event. Although I know what it is, but the suspense is killing me. What could it be? Here it is. Cavalry battle. The cavalry battle would have already ended with Izuku's team in second place. When the event ended, the students were given a few minutes to rest and eat. Izuku, still wearing his mask, was in the academy cafeteria. He picked up his tray of food and looked for a place to sit. Kyoka. Hey, I get Izuku's attention, you can sit here. Izuku went to her and sat next to her. Incineroar. Thanks, KY. He saw Jirro's companion's girl. He smiled. Kyoka. You're welcome, smiled, it's a pleasure to meet you. Incineroar pointed to her classmates, these are my classmates. Momo. It's a pleasure, I'm Momo Yaoyorozu. Kirishima. Jirro Kirishima, looking at him with sparkles in his eyes. Uraraka. Ochako Uraraka, Sonrenda. Iida. Tenya Iida, making robot movements. Kaminari. Denki Kaminari, Soladonda. Incineroar. It's a pleasure to meet you all. He saw Kirishima and his bright eyes. Are you all right? Kirishima. Sorry, I'm a fan of yours. He pulls out a notebook and pen. If it's not too much trouble, could I have your autograph? You're the second manliest thing I've ever seen, after Crimson Riot. Incineroar. Oh, sure. I take the notebook and sign it. Here you go. Kirishima. Thanks, taking the notebook, great. Incineroar. I think we should eat before we go back to the stadium. Everyone. Yes, after everyone had eaten, they went to the stadium. P. Mike. After a good rest, we're back with the final stage of the sports festival. Now we continue with the calm. He stopped, just like Aizawa, upon seeing the students of Class A. Aizawa. What the hell? P. Mike. Class of girls. What kind of fanservice is this? Kaminari and Mineta. Okay, high five. Momo. Mineta, you tricked us. Kyoka. I knew we shouldn't have listened to him. Then, thanks to her quirk, she heard someone taking a picture. She looked to the side and saw Izuku with a cell phone in his hand. Incineroar. Smiling. Kyoka. You'll pay for this later, looking at Izuku. P. Mike. Ahem, anyway, let's continue with the long-awaited matches. Making the audience scream with excitement, and here are the first matches. Then the screen showed the first fights. Bakugo. Uraraka. He. Assistada. Incineroar. Shinso. Approaching him, I guess it's my turn to fight you, it's a pleasure. Incineroar. Likewise, his mouth is covered and he sees the culprit being Ojiro. Ojiro. Trust me, Shinso. Well, see you later. He left. A few minutes later, P. Mike. And we begin with the first match. On one side we have the young fighter Incineroar. And on the other side, from General Studies, Hitoshi Shinso. They both got on the platform. Midnight. I want a fair fight. He looked at them. The rules are simple. Knock your opponent off the platform or make them submit. He cracked a whip in the air. Begin. Incineroar. From what that kid Ojiro told me, he has a mind control quirk. Walking towards Shinso. Shinso. It must be great, right? Incineroar saw him to have an amazing quirk and not a villainous one. He saw him approaching. Aren't you going to talk? That kid with the tail must have told him about my quirk. Tisk. Incineroar. Tries to provoke me, starts running. Shinso. Why aren't you talking? Cat got your tongue. I thought you were one by now. Seeing him very close. Speak, you bastard. Incineroar. Sorry buddy, but I have to end this. Grabbing Shinso and pushing him. Shinso. Are you trying to kick me out? As if I'd let you. Punching him in the face. Incineroar. Grr. I grab it and forcefully spin it, throwing it off the platform. Midnight. Shinso is off the platform. Incineroar is the winner. The crowd roared with excitement. At that moment, Incineroar approached Shinso and extended his hand. Shinso, taking his hand and standing up. Incineroar, I don't think you have a bad quirk, but try not to rely on it too much. He saw it. Try practicing some martial arts, I think it would help you a lot. Shinso, I guess you're right. I smile. Then came the fight between Jirro and Todoroki, who was the winner by creating a large iceberg that froze his opponent. Then came the fight between Uraraka and Bakugo, which Bakugo won. After the other fights, they continued with round 2 of these. As Izuku was walking towards the stadium, he saw Endeavor watching him. Endeavor, so you're that fighter. Seeing him. Crematorium. And, Endeavor, I'll be quick with you. I want you to make Shoto use his fire. Of course, I'll pay you properly. Incineroar. Hey, do you think you can buy me? I don't know why your son doesn't use his fire, but I'm not going to force him to use it on me. He looked at him. Let me guess. Since you couldn't be number 1, you want to live out that dream through your son, don't you? How pathetic. Endeavor. You'd better shut up, kid, angrily, unless you want me to shut you up. Incineroar. I'll see you in the ring whenever you want. Looking at him seriously. I tied with the top 6 hero and Mirko. I wonder what will happen if I fight the number 2 hero. He left, leaving Endeavor angry. Mike. And we're back with the fights. Incineroar versus Todoroki from the hero course. They both got on the platform. Midnight. Ready. Begin. Cracks the whip. Todoroki immediately launched a massive ice attack, burying Incineroar in it. Mike. That was fast. Did I manage to beat him? Then a light appeared inside the iceberg, and loud banging noises were heard within it. After a few seconds, Incineroar emerged from the iceberg, his body engulfed in flames, which he then extinguished. Mike. Incineroar managed to escape that massive ice attack. Todoroki. Tisk, I should have known it wouldn't be easy. Todoroki then launched more ice attacks, but Incineroar, with his fists engulfed in flames, simply destroyed them. Mike. Todoroki keeps sending ice, but it doesn't seem to be working against Incineroar. Incineroar. If you only use ice, this will be very easy. He saw Todoroki. Todoroki. Tisk, did the old man pay you? Incineroar. If it were up to me, I would have already scratched his face. Looking sideways at Endeavor. I don't know why you only use your ice, and it's not for me to say, but you won't be a hero like that. At that moment, the audience fell silent. Todoroki. Incineroar. You only use 50% of your power, wasting the other 50% over something stupid. Seeing this. You won't use your fire because of a silly tantrum. Are you studying to be a hero or just trying to prove to that idiot that you can win using only ice? Todoroki. Looking at him. You don't know what you're talking about. Incineroar. True, but even I know that a hero has to give 100% to save people. Smiles. You don't use it because you inherited it from him. Well, too bad. That quirk is yours and yours alone, idiot. Todoroki. Incineroar. And if you're not going to use your 100%, then leave the hero's course, because I will use mine. At that moment, Incineroar's muscles increased slightly in size and fire began to envelop him. Todoroki was simply reminiscing about a conversation with his mother when suddenly. Endeavor. SHOOOTOO. Approaching the arena. You finally left that rebellious phase behind to continue my legacy. Mike. Endeavor is giving words of encouragement to his son. Todoroki. What a nuisance. Goes to Incineroar smiling. Helping your opponent. You're crazy. Aizawa. Midnight. Smentos. Stop them. They could get hurt. They sent their quirks to stop the young people. Todoroki unleashed a powerful ice attack, causing Incineroar to leap towards him. Todoroki. Incineroar, thanks. Boom. A large explosion occurred at the location where a large fog had formed. Moneta. Held by Shoji to prevent him from flying away. What the hell? Iida. What power? Kyoka. Izuku. Preoccupada. Mike. On the ground. What the hell happened? Aizawa. They applied heat to the already cold air, causing it to expand. Mike. And they created that explosion. He saw the sand. I don't see anything. Hey Midnight. Who won? Midnight. Standing up. Where are they? He saw the young people, Todoroki, he's out of bounds. Therefore, the winner is Incineroar. Then the fog dissipated, revealing Incineroar without the top part of his uniform and with the bottom part of his mask somewhat broken. Incineroar, great, fell to his knees. After a quick healing by Recovery Girl, Incineroar went to get his spare mask and went to watch the next fight. Incineroar. So next it's Bakugo and Kirishima looking at the screen, then it's that kid Iida against Ibara and Tokiyami against that girl Ishido. He went to the stands to watch the fights. The fights passed and they reached the quarterfinals. Mike. And we've reached the quarterfinals, starting with these two guys. On one side, we have a boy from a family of elite heroes, Tenya Iida, cheering up the crowd, and on the other side, the young fighter Incineroar. Both young men climbed onto the platform and looked at each other with a determined expression. Midnight. Ready, begin. Cracks the whip. Incineroar attacked first, sending fireballs towards Iida, who was able to dodge them in time. Iida. I can't use ranged attacks like him, plus he can also attack up close. In that case I activate my engine's recycle burst. I launch a horizontal kick that Incineroar barely manages to dodge. I only have 10 seconds until my engines shut down. I must finish this. With a quick spin, I deliver a vertical kick to Incineroar, sending it crashing into the ground and cracking it slightly. Incineroar. AGHH. Iida quickly grabbed him by his clothes and ran with him out of the arena. Iida. I only have 8 seconds to get it out before he suddenly stopped abruptly. When I turned around, I saw Incineroar gripping the ground tightly with its claws. Incineroar. Sorry, buddy. I don't give up that easily. He covered his body with flames, making Iida let go. Take a flamethrower. A huge burst of flame shot from his waist and hit Iida directly. Iida. When the blaze stopped, he saw Incineroar very close to him. Incineroar grabbed him by his right arm and leg and with a great spin threw him forcefully out of the arena. Midnight. Iida is out of bounds. Incineroar is the winner. Incineroar. Approaching Iida, that was a good kick. He offered his hand, and Iida accepted it. It really hurt. Iida. It was great fighting with you, smiled. The next fight was Bakugo against Tokiyami, which ended with Bakugo as the winner since Dark Shadow couldn't do much against Bakugo's explosions. Mike. We've reached the finals. The final battle between Bakugo and Incineroar. They both climbed onto the platform. Midnight. Ready, begin. Cracks the whip. Bakugo immediately launched himself towards Incineroar with his explosions. Incineroar. It's fast, I thought, watching it. Incineroar began launching fireballs at Bakugo, who was able to dodge them in time. Incineroar, having gotten close to Bakugo, tried to hit him, but Bakugo used an upward explosion, dodging it and getting behind him. Bakugo. Don't underestimate me. He yells, blasting Incineroar in the back. Incineroar. If it weren't for my body's resistance to flames, it would have hurt a lot. Taking advantage of Incineroar recovering from its explosion, Bakugo lunged at it, grabbing it. Incineroar. Oye. Bakugo, the shame of a fighter, is taking off his mask. He grabs Incineroar's mask and starts to remove it. Incineroar. What? Tries to remove Bakugo. Damn it, he's going to take it off me. His mask rose to his nose. Damn it. Then his mouth began to grow. Everyone was waiting anxiously to see what would happen with Incineroar, and when his mask finally came out. Bakugo. Shine. Incineroar jumps while wearing its mask. Everyone saw Incineroar now without his mask. Mike. Incineration is a tiger. Incineroar. Touched its face. This is fur. The entire audience stared at Incineroar's face. Boy. I thought it only had tiger ears and a tail. Girl. But it's actually a tiger. Aizawa. Wait a minute, his quirk is also Mike. Transformation 2. Shout, startling the audience. Then Izuku felt something on his arms where his sleeves tore off, and now his arms were covered in red fur with black stripes, and his claws grew longer. Then his sneakers ripped, revealing that his feet were those of a feline. Then his tail grew a little longer, and his fur changed from green to red and black. Now everyone saw Incineroar's complete transformation. Incineroar. My quirk, is it transformation? Surprised. Bakugo. Tisk. No matter what you do, I'm going to defeat you. He lunged at him, unleashing a huge explosion. Everyone saw the large cloud of smoke, but they noticed a glow coming from it. Then they saw how Incineroar absorbed the fire from the explosion. Incineroar. Without fire, I'm just smoke, smiles. Now it's my turn, said as he engulfed his body in flames. With impressive speed, he approached Bakugo and punched him in the face. He continued with the blows, where Bakugo could barely dodge some, but even so, he received burns from the flames. Bakugo. Damn it, leaps with a backward explosion from Incineroar. Incineroar. That won't do you any good. He directed his fire into his fists where he began to spin very fast. Bakugo was unable to dodge Incineroar's attack, receiving its powerful blows. Incineroar. Time to end this. It moved a little away from Bakugo and then leapt high into the air. Mike. Is going to use. Incineroar. Hyperflat Iron. Bakugo. Well, I'll use my best attack too. With his explosions he began to spin, creating a whirlwind Hotizer. Incinerator and Bakugo. Dark Impact. The two attacks collided, creating a large smokescreen. Mike. That's incredible. Although I can't see anything anymore. Midnight. Who won? Midnight. Cough cough, coughing a little through the smoke. Where are they? Then he saw a figure through the smoke. The winner is. Incineroar emerged from the smoke, carrying the unconscious Bakugo and then leaving him on the ground. Midnight. Incineroar is the winner. Incineroar let out a great roar, thrilling the audience. Midnight approached him. Congratulations, Incineroar. He received no response. Incineroar. He saw that he was only looking up. He got closer and ran his hand over his face. He fainted standing up. Aizawa. He must have used too much power in the fight. Take him to the infirmary. A few days had passed since the UA Sports Festival. Now Izuku and Kyoka were in Izuku's room practicing his transformation. Kyoka. Okay, try it. Watching it. Izuku tried to transform, but only his mouth grew a little. Kyoka. Your mouth just grew a little. Izuku's mouth returns to normal. Izuku. I still don't know how I transformed. Sitting down. Kyoka. What if you try to feel the same sensation as when you did it? Izuku. The same feeling. Maybe it'll work. He remembered what he felt when Bakugo took off his mask. Kyoka watched him, waiting for him to transform, and then after a few seconds she saw him manage to transform. Izuku. Looks in the mirror. I did it. Kyoka. Not bad. Smiles. Then they hear a knock at the door. Izuku tried to return to normal but he couldn't. Izuku. Oh no, Shino. Guys, I'm coming in. Kyoka quickly covered Izuku with a sheet, just as Shino entered, seeing that. Shino. Looking at them. What are you doing? Looking at Izuku with the sheet over him. Kyoka. Nothing. She smiled somewhat nervously, although she was surprised by how Shino was dressed. Izuku. Just a game Kyoka invented. Shino. Well, I just wanted to tell you I'm leaving and I won't be back until late. Izuku. Where will you go? Shino. It's not important. Don't worry, see you later. He left. Izuku. Okay, that was weird. Taking off the sheet. Kyoka. I was surprised by how she's dressed. She looks great. Izuku. What was she wearing? Kyoka. As if I were going to a fancy place or something. Curious. Izuku. Returns to normal. I'd better ask my aunts where he went. They went to the kitchen where they saw Tomoko, Ryoko, Kota, and Chitora. Izuku. Hey, do you know where my mom went? At that, the three of them shuddered. Ryoko. I don't know. Reading her magazine. Tomoko. Drinking her coffee. Chitora. Cooking. Izuku and Kyoka just looked confused. Izuku. They know something, right? Looking at them. The three. No. Izuku. Aunt Ryoko, if you tell me where my mom went, I'll get you a date with someone. Ryoko. I won't sell out so easily, kid. Looking at him. Izuku. Aunt Tomoko approached her. Would you tell your favorite nephew? He made his kitten face. Tomoko just saw it and endured it. Izuku. Yes. He looks up. Tomoko. Resisting him. Ryoko and Chitora just looked at her, somewhat nervously. Izuku. Will you tell me Aunt Tomoko, NYA? Tomoko. Ah, Izuku was so shocked that his head even caught fire. Kota simply splashed a jet of water in Izuku's face, snapping him out of his shock. Izuku. What? Surprised, with whom? Ryoko tried to stop Tomoko from continuing to speak, but it was not possible. Tomoko. Kan Nimari Kayama. Izuku. Who? Ryoko. Size it's midnight. Kyoka. Midnight sensei. Sorprendida. Izuku. Wait. That means my mom is. Chitora. Yes, she and Midnight have been dating for 4 months and I suppose you know they started to feel something for each other. Izuku. This is, in shock. Ryoko. I know it surprises you, but, aren't you happy for her? Izuku. Of course, it's just that, it surprises me too much. Tomoko. She hadn't wanted to go out with anyone since your dad. Midnight invited her for a drink one day, and since then they've started spending more time together. I guess you know it was just a matter of time. Chitora. I didn't want to tell you anything because I thought you'd be disappointed in her and because she's dating a girl. Izuku. I never would be, it just surprised me a lot. Kyoka. Come on, taking Izuku, you should think about it for a moment, taking him to her room. Hours later, Izuku had accompanied Kyoka home and when he returned he waited for his mother until she arrived. 10 p.m. Shino and Nimari arrived at the house. Nimari. Then I'll see you another day, smiled, and, did you tell him yet? Shino. No. Not yet, I don't know if Izuku will take it well. Nimari. He really likes tea, I'm sure Shino will take it well. Shino. I hope so. And just as they were about to say goodbye with a kiss, Izuku opened the door and saw them. Shino. Izuku. Seeing him, this isn't. Nimari. Hola jaja, nervous. Izuku. Don't worry, Mom, I know everything. Looking at his mother, Shino. So, Izuku. I'm glad you're dating someone. I was just surprised that you're dating a woman, that's all. Shino. I'm sorry I didn't go out with a man. Izuku. It doesn't matter, we don't choose who we fall in love with, and I hope you're happy together. Shino. Thank you, Izuku. Hugs her son. Izuku. Although I didn't expect Midnight to be a lesbian, didn't she blow a kiss to Incineroar at the sports festival? He looked at Nimari. Nimari. Yes, I had to do it so no one would suspect anything, she answered. Who would think that the 18-plus heroine was a lesbian? Although your mother got jealous, hee. Shino. Shut up, embarrassed. Nimari. Well, I have to go now. She looked at Izuku. Thank you for accepting our relationship. Izuku. Smiled, just make my mother happy. Nimari. I promise you, smiled and left. Izuku. I think you should tell me how it all started. Shino. Yes, smiled. Izuku, Shino, Ryoko, and Kota were on their way to welcome classes A and B to begin camp. Shino. Oh, there they are. Stopping the car. Ryoko. Let's go say hello. Izuku and Kota. Oh no, they thought, somewhat embarrassed. Both women got out of the car and began their presentation. Mandalay. Always dazzling, ready to lend a paw. Pixie Bob. Suddenly appearing with a feline beauty. The two. Wild pussycats. They both introduced themselves, and Kota and Izuku stood beside them, somewhat embarrassed. Mandalay. How long ago was it? Approaching him. Aizawa. Mandalay, introduce yourself. Mandalay. As serious as ever, smiled and looked at the students. I'm Shino Sosaki, better known as Mandalay, the leader of the Wild Pussycats group. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Pixie Bob. And I'm Ryoko, better known as Pixie Bob. I'm 18 at heart and looking for a potential husband. Izuku. I don't think a young person would want to date an older woman, whispering, but Pixie Bob heard him and grabbed his face. Pixie Bob. I'm 18 at heart. Showing his claws, at heart. Izuku. You're 18 at heart, dear aunt, scared. Pixie Bob. Hey Eraser, are you still single or have you already said yes to Emmy? He asked somewhat mockingly. Aizawa. When hell freezes over, I'll say yes, serious, but we didn't come here to find out about my personal life. Do your job, Pixie Bob. I still wonder what Emmy saw in this guy. Mandalay. Love is like that, Pixie saw the students. Mina. Where is the camp? Mandalay. Oh, it's at the top of that mountain about 4 kilometers from here, smiling so that Class A would understand the rest. Kaminaro. To the bus. He shouted and everyone ran back to the bus. Aizawa. Sorry guys, but camp starts now. Pixie Bob stood in front of the class, touching the ground and dragging everyone down the cliff. Izuku. Looking up at the class, I hope Kyoka is okay. Do they always do things like that? He saw Aizawa. Aizawa. You could say so, looking at his students. Suddenly Izuku was grabbed and lifted up by Pixie Bob. Pixie Bob. You're going with them too. Izuku. Being thrown off the cliff. Mandalay. Pixie, looking at her friend. Ryoko. Relax, it's a feline, looking at Mandalay, and they always land on their feet. Pam. They both saw Izuku fall face down. Pixie Bob. Hi, what kind of cat are you? Shouting at his nephew. Izuku. I'm a tiger. Shouting, and just because I'm part feline doesn't mean I'm the same as them. Then I hear something approaching. Mineta. Bathroom. Running towards the forest but saw an earth creature. He doesn't need a bathroom anymore. Then the earth monster tried to crush Mineta, but it was quickly destroyed by a punch from Izuku. That surprised everyone. Pixie Bob. Wow, where did she learn that? He saw his friend. Mandalay. I don't know, amazed, I wouldn't have known I could do that. Aizawa. He reacted quickly thanks to his enhanced hearing and destroyed him with ease. He saw Mandalay. Your son has a talent for this. Mandalay. Saw Izuku. Yes, he has it, smiling. Kota. Show them how it's done, cousin. He shouts, encouraging Izuku. Izuku. With pleasure, extending his claws. Mandalay. You can use your quirks. Don't hold back. You have 3 hours to reach the camp. If you make it, we'll make you dinner. Izuku let out a roar and went into the forest where the others followed him. A few hours later, Izuku and Class A arrived at the camp. Izuku had some injuries and burns. Bakugo had pain in his arms from creating many explosions. Todoroki was shivering from the cold from using his ice side so much, and the others were tired and sore. Izuku. Carrying Kyoka on his back, I can't take it anymore, falling to the ground. Kyoka. You did well, Kitty, stroking his head before collapsing, exhausted. Pixie Bob. They did well, 2 hours and 30 minutes is not bad at all. Izuku. If I didn't know the way, we would have taken longer, he said wearily. Pixie Bob. You guys did amazing, especially those 3, pointing at Bakugo, Iida, and Todoroki. I want them for myself. I'll see you in 3 years. Launching himself towards them. Aizawa. She's that age, right? Looking at Mandalay. Mandalay. Yes, she's trying to form a serious relationship but, shrugs, then looks at Class A. Well, as promised, we made dinner for you, so eat as much as you want. Izuku. Wasn't there going to be another class? He said wearily. Mandalay. They'll arrive in an hour. Izuku. Go take a bath and then help me prepare lunch for Class B. Izuku. Yes, he picked up Kyoka and placed her on one of the tables. Excuse me. Kyoka. Do you want me to come and help you? Making Izuku's tail bristle. Hee. Izuku. If you like. Mrs. Sosaki, smiling mockingly before leaving. Kyoka sad face. Sanrohata. Tonto. Mina. It seems someone is in love. Looking at Kyoka. Toru. Do you know him? Kyoka. We've been friends since we were kids. Stretching. Let's go eat. I'm starving. Mina. I still want more details. Sitting next to him. A few hours later at the thermal baths. Mineta. Guys, behind this wall lies the sky, Ashido's sexy legs, Uraraka's curves, Hagakuri's sexy silhouette, Tsuyu's sexy butt, and Yaoyorozu's huge breasts. Just imagining that. Some guys blushed except for Bakugo and Todoroki. Iida. Mineta, that's not how a UA student behaves. Mineta. Walls were made to be climbed. Plus ultra. Climbing the wall with his sticky balls. But before he reached the top, Izuku and Kota appeared in front of him. Izuku. Kyoka warned me about you, grabbing Mineta's face, and unless you want to end up charred, breathing fire from his mouth, stay on your side. Kota. If you're going to be a hero, first learn to be human, throws a jet of water at Mineta, making him fall. Girls. Thanks guys. Kyoka. Thank you, Izuku, smiling. Both. Without turning around, you're welcome. 3 days had already passed since the camp started. Now on the 3rd day, during the night, everyone prepared for the test of courage. Pixie. Great. Now that everyone has their partners, let's begin the test of courage. Izuku. I guess I'll go with Aunt Tomoko. Going with Ragdoll. Minutes later, Izuku and Ragdoll were hiding to scare the next one. Izuku. He hears some noises and his tail bristles. Ragdoll. What's wrong? He saw it. Izuku. Watch out. He lunges towards his aunt, dodging a saw that cut the tree. Ragdoll. What's wrong? They both looked up and saw a Nomu with saws. Izuku. What is that? Ragdoll. A villain. At that moment she sensed more people than were in the camp and attack. At that moment, the Nomu tried to attack him, but Izuku unleashed a huge burst of flame that knocked it unconscious. Izuku. I don't know how long I'll be unconscious, we have to go and tell Mom and the others. Ragdoll. Let's go, with Mandalay and the others. Mandalay. Sniffing fire. He saw the forest was burning. Pixie. A fire. She saw the forest but out of the corner of her eye she saw a beam about to hit her. Izuku. Watch out. Moving Pixie and holding the beam tightly, he saw the culprit. I admit you're strong, kid. Looking at Izuku. Mandalay. Villains. Izuku threw the beam and the subject with force. Ragdoll. Villains are attacking us, Mandalay. Warn everyone. Mandalay. Yes. Using her quirk, emergency. We've been invaded by villains, return to camp immediately. I repeat, return to camp, don't fight. Izuku. I don't like this, he said while looking at a tall guy with a hood covering his body. Hey kid, I like your hat, don't you want to trade it for this mask? He said, taking off his mask so Kota and Izuku could see him in horror. Kota. Why you're the one who murdered my parents. You're Muscular. Mandalay. Izuku, take Kota to the cabin. But he was just looking at Muscular Izuku. Izuku. Although I'd like to. Mom, there must be more in the forest. Ragdoll. That's right, I sensed more people in the woods. Muscular. So you're going to fight my kitty. Looking at Izuku because I think the others will be busy with my teammates. Izuku. What is which do you want to? In a fighting stance. We heard that Incineroar would be here, but apparently it's not. Pixie. Too bad for you. Looking at the villains, he had to cancel his visit at the last minute. Muscular. Too bad, I would have liked to fight him, but I can settle for you. He lunges at Izuku. Izuku grabbed Kota and jumped, dodging Muscular's fist. Izuku. Stay close to us, Kota. He started running around Muscular, throwing several flames at him. Muscular. I admit your fire is strong, I catch Izuku but not strong enough. I slam Izuku to the ground. Izuku. Mandalay. Izuku. She tried to go to him but was stopped by a lizard man. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Spinner, the one who will follow you with Stain's legacy, drawing a large sword with several blades. Izuku. Seeing Spinner about to attack his mother, he throws a fireball that destroys the sword. Take care of him, Mom. Being slammed by Muscular. Muscular. Throwing Izuku against a tree, destroying it in the process. In that Muscular moment, he was struck by a small stone. Kota. Leave my cousin alone. Looking at Muscular. Muscular. Oh yes, you're the son of the Waterhouses. Pulling an artificial eye from his pocket. They're the ones who gave me this wound, putting the eye in. Now I'll send you to them. But before he will comply, Izuku appeared behind him with his fists engulfed in flames. Muscular. Do you want more, dwarf? When I try to hit Izuku, I use Muscular's arm as a support, jumping on top of it. Izuku. This is for my uncles. He punches Muscular, knocking him down, then jumps upwards, fire kick. His kick hit Muscular, creating a large cloud of smoke. Both Izuku's family and the villains watched this in surprise. From the cloud of smoke came several fireballs, hitting the villains where they were knocked down. Pixie Bob reacted quickly and used his quirk to trap the villains in mounds of dirt. Izuku. Emerging from the smoke with some burns that hurt. The smoke dispersed, revealing a muscular man with some burns where his muscles had grown and increased in size. Muscular. That hurt. I admit you're strong, kid. She was going to hit him, but Mandalay jumped out of the way and took the blow herself, sending her flying into the trees. Kota Pussycatus. Tia Mandalay. Izuku. Mom. He made a hateful face, you. Looking at Muscular. Muscular. Now fight. He was met with several blows from Izuku that made him back away. Muscular tried to hit Izuku, but Izuku climbed on top of him. Izuku. Damn it. Digging his claws into Muscular's back. Take this. Both were engulfed in flames. Muscular. That won't stop me, brat. Trying to get Izuku off of him. Pixie. Mandalay. Carrying her friend a little. Come on, wake up. Mandalay. Waking up, eh? Ah what? Izuku. Trying to get up. Ouch. She cried out in pain and saw Izuku. Izuku. Ragdoll. Izuku was burning that villain's muscle fibers, looking at Izuku and Muscular. Izuku. Let's see if you can handle this. Increases the power of his flames. Roar. Begins to transform. Izuku's family watched this with awe and saw how Izuku's fire even began to melt the ground. Izuku. You want to Incineroar. Finishing his transformation. Well, here it is. He delivers a hammer blow to Muscular, knocking him down. Izuku fell to the ground with several burns. Mandalay. Izuku's Incineroar. Tiger. I had doubts that it was Incineroar since it used the move Mirko taught me as a child, remembering how Izuku used the fire fang. They couldn't think any further because they saw Muscular get up. Muscular. Ma, damn it, he was going to crush Izuku but his muscle fibers disappeared and bandages trapped them. Everyone saw how Aizawa lured Muscular away and then punched him, knocking him unconscious. Aizawa. I apologize for the delay, I had to deal with other villains. Izuku's family quickly went to him. Tiger. Carrying Mandalay, he placed her next to Izuku. Come on, kid, wake up. Ragdoll. Touches Izuku but gets burned. He's burning. Kota sent a jet of water at Izuku, cooling him down. Mandalay. Please, baby, wake up. Carrying Izuku slightly. Izuku. Touching his face. Pixie. Come on, nephew. Izuku. Cough cough, starting to cough. Ah. I don't want to go to school, Mom. Mandalay. Thank heavens, hugging her son. Aizawa. Mandalay, stay with the looking at side. The rest of us are going to help the students. He left along with the rest of the pussycats. Training. A 5-year-old Izuku was training with Chitara. Chitara. Good, keep it up, receiving Izuku's punches with her palms. After a few minutes, Izuku was lying on the ground, tired. Chitara. That was a great training session. Looking at Izuku, we'll continue later. Go take a bath and get something to eat. Izuku. Okay, he got up and went inside the house. After her bath, Izuku grabbed some cereal and opened the refrigerator in search of milk. Izuku. Oh, saw the milk high up, darn, tries to reach it. Tomoko. Entering the kitchen. Takoyaki. Sees Izuku. Oh hee, approaches him. Let me help you. Takes the milk and gives it to Izuku. Here you go. Izuku. Thank you, Aunt Tomoko. He went to his cereal and poured the milk on it. Okay. He starts eating. After eating, Izuku went to the living room and watched television. Izuku. Let's see, looking for something entertaining. There's nothing good. At that point she stopped on the news channel where she saw they were talking about Endeavor. Oh. He stayed watching the replay of Endeavor's fight. Izuku. Fire. He looked at his hands. I know. He went to look for his uncle. Outside the house, everyone was watching Izuku and Chitara's training. Tomoko. What will Izuku do this time? Sitting on the floor. Ryoko. I don't know, looking at Izuku, but he seemed very excited. Shino. Looking at his son. What will you do, Izuku? Chitara. Okay. Come on, kitty. Then, to the confusion of the four, Izuku got into a quadruped position. Izuku. Fire, fire, he concentrated. Ryoko. That's, looking at Izuku. Tomoko. He'll use his fire, seeing flames start to come out of Izuku. Shino. Izuku. Then the fire began to move towards Izuku's face where it began to form like an animal's jaw. Izuku. Fire fang. He started running towards Chitara. Chitara. Wow, luckily she was able to react in time, dodging Izuku. Izuku. Crashing into a tree. Ow. Falling to the ground. Then everyone went to Izuku. Shino. Are you okay? Helping him up. Izuku. Si, Sobando's Lefente. Tomoko. That was great, Izuku. Ryoko. How did you do that? Izuku. Oh, I saw it on the news. He saw his mother when they showed Endeavor's fight. Chitora. And you imitated him, and created that. Seeing the mark of the attack on the tree. Izuku. Yes, he smiled and wiggled his ears. Promise. Izuku and Kyoka were inside a pillow fort they had made. Kyoka. Just make this face, showing a picture of a cat with a cute face, and she'll give you candy. Izuku. Are you sure it works? Kyoka. Very confident. They both went to the kitchen where Tomoko was. Izuku. Aunt Tomoko calling her attention, can you give us some candy? Tomono. Sorry kids, I can't give you sweets before dinner. Looking at them. The two children looked at each other and nodded. Izuku. Making a cat face, give us some candy, Aunt Tomoko, please. Tomoko. Looking at him, I really can't give them. Izuku. Increasing his gaze, please, lowering his ears, yes. Tomoko. Minutes later. Both children were inside the fort eating some chocolates. Meanwhile in the kitchen, Ryoko. Seeing Tomoko on the ground holding her chest. What happened to you? Tomoko. Izuku. Has a deadly technique. Ryoko. Okay. Confused. At night, Kyoka was stroking Izuku's ears. Kyoka. They're very soft, she continued stroking them. Izuku. Lying down, wagging his tail, Kyoka. She saw him, do you know what getting married is? Kyoka. I think I heard my mom say something about that. Remembering, I think it was about being with someone you like for a long time. Although I think that only applies to adults. Izuku. Ooh, he saw her, then I'll marry you when I grow up. Kyoka. Oh, is that a promise? Looking at Izuku. Izuku. It's a promise, smiles and boyfriend subtail. Kyoka. Then I'll accept. Smiles. Meanwhile, outside the fort, Shino, Ryoko, and Tomoko were listening to them. The three of them. How cute. Easter event. Izuku and his family were at the park for an Easter event with the heroine Mirko. Several children were at a starting line to begin the event. The game involved finding a golden egg that the heroine Mirko herself would hide somewhere on the parquet floor, and whoever found it would win various heroine merchandise, including a photo and autograph from her. Sir. Ready. Looking at the children, out. All the children ran in search of the golden egg. Minutes later, Izuku continued searching for the egg, looking among bushes and through the trees. But I couldn't find it. Izuku. Where could it be? He thought for a moment. Rabbit, burrow. He ran towards a rabbit burrow he had seen earlier. Izuku. Excuse me, bunnies. He pushed aside the nearby rabbits and put his hand in the burrow. Let's see. He took something out. I hope it's this. He took his hand out and saw the golden egg. I've got it. He quickly went to the event organizers and showed them the egg. Sir. We have a winner. Shino. Ah, well done, Izuku. Mirko. Congratulations, kid, smiled. Let's take that picture. Izuku. Yes. Minutes later, Izuku and his family were on their way home. Izuku was on Chitora's shoulders, looking at his picture with Mirko, his eyes shining. Ryoko. I didn't think they'd actually give away so much stuff, carrying a bag of prizes. Tomoko. Yes, with another bag, there really are many. Shino. He looked at his son. Did you have fun, Izuku? Izuku. Nodded yes. Shino. I'm glad. Hospital Hosu. Izuku's entire family was there, as a week had already passed since the attack on the camp. They were waiting for Izuku to wake up, as he had been unconscious since they defeated Muscular. Jirro. Arriving with Shino. Hello Miss Shino, with a bouquet of flowers. Shino. Hello Kyoka, she said somewhat sadly. Jirro. Any news about Izuku? She sat down next to him. Shino. His physical condition is already better, he'll only have some marks left from the excessive use of his fire, but he still hasn't woken up. Jirro. I see. Shino. Did you know he was Incineroar? He saw Jirro. Jirro. Yes, I found out myself. She saw her. I promised to keep it a secret. I'm sorry. Shino. Okay, I don't care that he's a fighter, just don't tell me. Jirro. Maybe he thought she would be disappointed in him. Shino. I never would be, smiled, he's such a good boy, shed a few tears just like his father. Jirro just patted Shino to calm her down. The others arrived with some food and continued waiting for news about Izuku. At night, Shino was looking at his still unconscious son. Shino. Please wake up. He lay back on the bed and began to sleep. In the morning, Shino was sleeping next to his son's bed until he started to feel something touching his face. Shino. He rubbed his eyes and saw Izuku's tail touching his face. Izuku. He saw his son, who smiled weakly. Izuku. He hugged him. Izuku. Hello, what happened? Confused. Shino. After you defeated Muscular, you fainted. He saw it. Luckily, we were able to defeat the villains, although some escaped. Izuku. And the others? Kyoka. He tried to get up but his mother stopped him. Shino. The others are fine and luckily Kyoka wasn't hurt, she saw it and you were unconscious for a week. Izuku. A week? I was unconscious for a week. Shino. That's right, but I'll explain later. Now you need to rest. He kisses her forehead. I'll go get the doctor and let the others know. Izuku. Okay. After some tests, they were finally able to return home in the afternoon. Ryoko. You're finally here. Hugs. Izuku. We're so glad to hear you're finally awake. Tomoko. How are you feeling? She looked at Izuku. Izuku. I still feel weak. He saw his aunts. Shino. The doctor said you need to rest for a few days to get back to moving like you used to. Chitora. Then you'd better go and rest. Izuku nodded. Kota. Let's go, Izuku. He took his hand and led him to his room. Hours later, Shino went to open the door where he encountered Jirro. Shino. Hola Kyoka. Kyoka. Hello Mrs. Shino. She saw her. I heard that Izuku was released from the hospital and I was wondering if I could see him. Shino. Of course, smiled, he's resting in his room. Kyoka. Thank you, excuse me. She went to Izuku's room where she saw him watching TV. Hello, kitty. Izuku. Saw her. Hi Kyoka, smiled, I'm glad to see you're okay. Kyoka. Entering the room, that's what I should be saying. Approaches him, you had me worried, silly cat. Izuku. Hee, sorry, smiled a little. Kyoka just lay down next to him and hugged him. Kyoka. Gripping Izuku's shirt, don't make me worry like that again. Hiding her face in his shirt. Izuku. Feeling his shirt wet, I'm really sorry, strokes Kyoka's hair, I didn't mean to worry you. He continued stroking her until she calmed down. Izuku. Better. He saw her. Kyoka. Yes, she saw him. By the way, did you see the news? Izuku. No. Poor. Kyoka showed him the news about the fight between All Might and All for One. In addition, they had uploaded one about him where his identity was revealed. Izuku. Wow, wait, since when is this? Kyoka. 5 days ago, she saw it. Some of your fans went to the hospital and left several gifts. She went to the bedroom wardrobe, opened it, and several gifts came out. Izuku. Wow, does my mom know about this? Looking at the gifts. Kyoka. Yep, she saw it. She was the one who brought them here. Izuku. I understand. I guess I should talk to her. Sigh. Kyoka. If it makes you feel better, she stood beside him. She said she doesn't care that you're a fighter. She just doesn't care that you didn't have the confidence to tell her. Izuki. I see. Looked at the ceiling thoughtfully. Ouch. Kyoka. What's wrong? She sees him. Izuku. My burns are burning. He sat up a little. Kyoka. Let me put the cream on you. Opening the cabinet and taking out the burn cream. Izuku. Okay. He took off his shirt. Kyoka. Yes, they are big marks. She started applying the cream. Does it sting? Izuku. Yes, but I can handle it. Kyoka sad face. I finish listo. I look at the cream. Izuku put on his shirt and turned around, looking at Kyoka. Kyoka. What? Izuku simply leaned close to her face and kissed her. Izuku. I love you. Puts his face on Kyoka's chest. Kyoka. Smiles. Me too, silly kitty. Izuku. Maybe it's not necessary to ask, but, will you be my girlfriend? Kyoka. I thought we already were, stroking his ears, but I do want to. They both lay down and fell asleep. Hours later, Shino. Guys. Entering the room and seeing them, oh, hee, how cute. Izuku and his family were having a quiet lunch until Izuku spoke. Izuku. I want to get into UA. Ryuko and Tomoko choked on their food. Chitora, Shino, and Kota watched in amazement. Ryuko. Entering UA. Looking at Izuku. Tomoko. I thought you didn't want to be a hero. Izuku. That's right, but at the training camp, some villains wanted to fight me. Now that my identity is known, I thought it would be good to be at UA and in those dorms Kyoka mentioned. Chitora. That's right, Tomoko. Besides some fans who come here asking for photos and stuff, they're kind of annoying, honestly. Ryuko. Saw Shino. What do you say, Shino? Shino. Looking at his food. I almost had a heart attack when I saw you on that stretcher on the way to the hospital. He saw Izuku, and it's not that I mind you wanting to be a hero. I've already seen how you donated money to hospitals and orphanages when you were in Incineroar. Shino. Even when you're helping people in need. She looked at her son and for a moment at Hisashi. Just promise that you'll stay safe. I don't want to see you in a hospital bed again. Wiping away tears, Izuku got up from his seat and hugged his mother. Izuku. I promise you. 2 days later in the UA in the afternoon. Aizawa. Before we talk about the dormitories, I have an announcement. The class paid attention. Aizawa. You'll have a new classmate drawing everyone's attention. You probably already know him, since he was with you at the sports festival and at camp. Kirishima. At the sports festival. Thinking back, Kyoka. Wait, did he really come? Asterisk. The whole class heard footsteps approaching, turned around, and saw Izuku in his UA uniform. Izuki. Hello, greets, it's a pleasure, smiles. Everyone. Incineroar Izuku. Aizawa. This is Izuku Sosaki, and he will be your new classmate. Informing now, go into the dormitories. Entering the building. Izuki. Approaching Kyoka. Is he always like this? Curious about Aizawa's tired demeanor. Kyoka. I'll go see. Izuku and Bakugo saw each other. Izuku. Hola Bakugo. Bakugo. Tisk, one day I want a rematch, you hear? Entering the building. Inside the building. Aizawa. The building houses an entire class, with the girls on the right and the boys on the left. However, the ground floor is the common area. The cafeteria, restrooms, and laundry facilities are all located there. Mina. It's spacious. It's lovely. Especially lovely. And there are sofas. Admiring the place. Siro. It even has a terrace. Uraraka. It's a mansion. Falling backwards. Iida. Uraraka. Mineta. Did I hear right? The bathrooms and laundry room are shared spaces. With a perverted look and drooling, am I dreaming? Someone pinch me. Aizawa. Obviously the bathrooms and laundry rooms are separated by gender, I'm informing you. Did you understand, Mineta? With a dark look. Mineta. Yes sir. Second floor. Aizawa. Your rooms are located on the second floor and above. On each floor, there's a group of 4 rooms, half for boys and half for girls, I'm informing you. Each of you will have your own private room, air conditioning, bathroom, mini fridge, and a wardrobe. Momo. The room has almost the same dimensions as my closet. Kyoka. Your wealth sometimes hurts my self-esteem. Being comforted by Izuku. Izuku. Okay, stroking her hair. Aizawa. For now, take advantage of today to finish unpacking and settle into your rooms, he commented. Tomorrow I'll inform you how things will work from here on out. You can go, everyone. Yes, sensei. Hours later, some who had already finished unpacking were resting in the common room. Kirishima. And what do you think about Incineroar being here with us? Kaminari. I never imagined I'd be here, to be honest. Todoroki. Maybe I'll ask him for some advice on using my fire, he thought while eating a soba. Tsuyu. Where is he now? Hiro. Uraraka. I was helping Jirro unpack, she said, they must be finished by now I think. Toru. They seem very close. Mina. Will they be a couple? Momo. There everyone saw her, she told me once in class while drinking tea. Mina. And you didn't tell us. How mean. Giving Momo a treacherous look. Momo. She told me not to tell anyone, especially not you, looking at Mina. She said you'd tell all of you, eh? Mina. That's not. Everyone saw her, well, I would do it. Toru. Let's see what they do. All the girls went to Kyoka's room and knocked on the door. Kyoka. Opening the door, yes. Mina. We wanted to introduce ourselves with Incia, how should we say it now? Izuku. Peeking out, Izuku, you can call me that if you want. Taking one of his shirts out of Kyoka's drawers, I knew you had my shirts here. Suyu. Le ribaste sus camisas. Hiro, viendo a Kyoka. Kyoka. And other things. Izuku took out some boxers. Izuku. Vio a Kyoka. Kyoka. What? They're comfortable to sleep in. Izuku looked at her, don't be mad. She approached him, okay. She took his face in her hands and kissed his cheek. Izuku. Purring. Uraraka. I never thought I'd see the ferocious Incineroar like this. Suyu. She's got it under control, Hiro. Izuku. Okay, I forgive you. He looked at his girlfriend, but I'm taking my shirts. Kyoka. Malo. A few days had passed since Izuku entered UA. He got along very well with everyone. Even Todoroki asked him for some advice on how to better use his fire, and Kirishima asked him for some advice on how to be more manly, according to him. During that week they practiced special attacks and some things about the provisional license exams. Izuku also went to the support workshop to have his suit made more resistant and perhaps some gadgets to help him in combat. Kyoka. And this is the support workshop, she said as she walked with Izuku towards the workshop. Izuku. I see. He approaches the door but... Boom. An explosion occurred inside the workshop, causing the door and Izuku to fly out. Loader. Coughing, you. Just because you have an idea doesn't mean you can just go and build it, Hatsume. May. Ho ho ho. Failure is the mother of invention, Professor Power Loader, that's what Thomas Edison said. Loader. This is no time for nonsense. Can't you hear what I'm saying? The smoke cleared, and Kyoka was the first to see something that left her in shock. Hatsume May on top of her boyfriend wearing a sleeveless shirt that revealed too much of her breasts. May. Oh, she saw Izuku, and who are you, cat boy? Izuku. Saw May's scrotum, but... Kyoka. Chose, in shock, releasing a murderous aura. Izuku. Saw Kyoka and his tail bristled, could you get off me, please? May. Why? Does it bother you? Getting closer to his face. Izuku. Actually, it's so we don't die. Scared. Kyoka. You heard her, she said coldly to May. May. Okay, I'll take it off now. She stood up and dusted herself off. Izuku. Getting up but being pulled by one of his ears, ouch. Kyoka. Looks like you liked how you looked, huh? Staring intently at him. Izuku. To be honest. Whispers, I like yours better. Smiling. Kyoka blushed and gave him a light punch in the stomach. Loader. And how can I help you? Looking at the Izuku. Oh yeah, pulls out his suit, I was wondering if you could make it out of a more durable fabric. Loader. Takes the suit for a fighter's suit, the material isn't bad. Looks at Izuku, anything else? Izuku. I can expel my fire even from my waist, but it's kind of uncontrolled, so I was wondering if there was anything I could do to control it better. Loader. Maybe some kind of belt that would allow you to improve your control. I could have a prototype in a few days. Izuku. Great, then I'll come back another day to try it out. He saw Kyoka, shall we go? Kyoka. Yes, she took his hand and left. A few hours later, Izuku was transformed on the sofa with Kyoka stroking him. Izuku. I look like a pet. Kyoka. Yes, but I know you like this, stroking him. Izuku. Yes, hugging her around the waist. Kyoka. By the way, looking at him, I want you to meet my parents. Izuku. Confused, but I already know them. Kyoka. I know, she replied, but you know them as my childhood friend, not as my boyfriend. Izuku. Oh, understanding, I understand now. He remembered when Kyoka's dad saw him kissing her. Your dad isn't going to kill me, is he? Kyoka. No, I don't think so. The following afternoon, Izuku and Kyoka were standing in front of their parents' house. Kyoka. Okay, let's go. She takes Izuku's hand and moves forward, but he doesn't move at all. Izuku. She sees him. Izuku. Trembling nervously. Kyoka. Izuku. He didn't answer. Kitten. Izuku. Meow. Trembling. Kyoka. Don't tell me, the great Incineroar is afraid of meeting his in-laws. Izuku. Kyoka. You've faced many fighters and now villains too. She saw it. You can't be afraid of meeting your in-laws. Izuku. I know you already know me and all, but what if you think I'm not good enough for you? Kyoka. Don't say that. Kitty pets him. I'm sure they'll accept you as my boyfriend. Smiled. Let's go. They both approached the door and knocked. Mika. Opening and seeing them. Oh, hi. Kyoka. Hi mom. Greeting. Izuku. Hello Mrs. Mika. Nervously. Mika. What brings you here? Curious. Kyoka. Izuku and I want to tell you something. Is the old man here? Mika. She's in the living room. Come in. A few minutes later, the four of them sat in the dining room in a slightly awkward silence. Kyotoku. So, what do you want to tell us? Kyoka saw her boyfriend, who seemed to be paralyzed. She gave him a light tap, snapping him out of it. Izuku. Well, Kyoka and I are dating. Mika. Yes, I'm sure they took their time. He smiled. Izuku. She took it well but. He glanced sideways at Kyotoku. Kyotoku. Since when did they start dating? Kyoka. About a week before we moved into the dorms. That's when I went to take care of him. Kyotoku. I see. He looked at Izuku. Well, I can only say one thing. Izuku. I know, I'm not enough for her, am I? His ears droop. Kyoka. Izuku. Kyotoku. Let me finish, kid. He saw him. All I have left to say is, congratulations. Lot 2. Kyotoku. I accept your relationship. Izuku. Seriously, Kyotoku. You're the only one I'd let date my daughter. I know you'll give Kyoka a good life. Smiled, but no relationships until she's 18, okay. Kyoka. Viejo. Sanrohada. Izuku. Smiles. Thank you very much. Mika. And here I was wanting grandchildren as soon as possible, feigning sadness. Kyoka. Mom, blushing. Izuku. Gee, the licensing exams have already passed. Everyone was able to obtain their license except for Todoroki and Bakugo, who will have to take an exam in a few months. Now everyone was in their classroom waiting for their teacher. Kyoka. So how is the relationship between your mother and Midnight going? Izuku. Pretty good, I think. Last night he told me they went out to dinner. Kyoka. I wonder who will propose. Your mom or Midnight? Izuki. Ni idea. Then Aizawa arrived. Aizawa. Good morning. Today we'll have some visitors from upper grades, to be more precise, from the 3rd year. Aizawa. The big 3 are the students with the greatest potential to become symbols of peace. I point to the big 3. Izuku. The strongest at UA. Looking at the big 3. Oh, I have so many questions. I jump into the air and approach Shoji. Why do you wear a mask? If you cut off a tentacle, does it grow back? Why are you so tall? I ask hurriedly. Shoujo. Well, my mask is. The girl moved towards Todoroki. How did you get that scar? Does it hurt? Can you use both sides of your quirk at the same time? Todoroki. My scar is from when she saw Mineta. Is your hair sticky? Why is it in clumps? Mineta. Are you interested in my balls? That's harassment, senpai. He received a lick from Suyu. You're the most interesting one. She flew towards Izuku's seat where she landed sitting on the desk. I have so many questions. Is your hair naturally green or do you dye it? How old are you? How sharp is your sense of hearing? Are you really a tiger or some other kind of feline? Do you purr if I scratch your chin? Izuku. Well, she started scratching his chin. Hey. Purr. He purred a little but composed himself. Stop please. The girl was bound by Aizawa's bandages. Aizawa. Murio, control your group. His eyes were red and he looked angry. Murio. Sorry sensei. Anyway, let me introduce myself. I'm Murio Tagata from Class 3A. Najire. I'm Najire Hado from Class 3A. Nice to meet you all. She greets me happily. When it was the dark-haired man's turn, he raised his gaze, making everyone feel a great pressure. Most people. What's up with this pressure? Asterisk. Question mark question mark question mark colon dot dot dot. I can't put his head against the wall, I can't look at them, I'm scared to talk to so many people. I try to look at them like potatoes but I can't. Najire. Hee, this is our partner Imajiki Tamaki. He has a heart of a chicken, but he's a great hero. She smiles, patting Tamaki on the back. Murio. The reason we came here today was, because I want to fight all of you. He smiled and everyone stared at him as if he were crazy. Kaminari. Senpai, don't you think you're underestimating us? I mean, almost all of us have licenses and have fought villains. He said, raising his hand. Kirishima. And this Incineroar is with us too, pointed at Izuku. Izuku. Murio. He, I didn't underestimate them, we're going to fight, smiled, I'll be waiting for you at the training field. With that the three left. Azera. They'd better take this seriously, seeing the Mina. But sensei, it's 20 against 1. It's insane. We could seriously injure him. Aizawa. Well, for someone like Murio Tagata, it's very balanced. He looked at them. I'll tell you something. Aizawa. Murio Tagata is considered the closest to becoming the #1 hero. His strength and speed are on par with top professional heroes, so don't underestimate him. He said and left. At the training ground, everyone was ready for combat. Aizawa. Listos. Ya. Murio, smiling, activated his quirk, causing the girls to scream in surprise. Kyokyu. Kya. She screamed, covering her eyes, but Murio appeared behind her. Murio. First come the long-range ones. Just as he was about to hit him, he had to dodge a burst of flame. Wow. The one responsible was Izuku, who stood next to Kyoka. Murio. Incineroar. He sank into the ground and reappeared where his clothes were lying on the ground. Did you predict where I'd appear? That's difficult, but not impossible. Putting on his pants. Izuku. Everyone form groups and stand back to back. Everyone obeyed and did as asked. Kyoka. With Izuku, do you have any idea? Looking at him. Izuku. In my 5th fight, I fought against a guy who could teleport short distances. Looks at Murio. Although his quirk isn't the same, he follows the same pattern of attacking from behind. Kirishima. I understand now. Kaminari. As expected of a fighter. When Izuku turned around, he saw Murio walking towards him, preparing his fist. Just as Izuku was about to block the blow, Murio's fist pierced through his abdomen, punching Kyoka in the stomach and knocking her out. Izuku. Kyoka. Seeing her on the ground. Murio. First come the long-range ones, sinking into the ground. With incredible speed, he had knocked out all those who could attack from a long distance. Murio. Pawaaaaaa screams, then dives back in and hits everyone except Izuku. You're the only one left. Bakugo and Todoroki, who were just watching, were stunned to see him eliminate the entire class in just a few minutes. Izuku. His fists burst into flames. It must have some solid part. Wait. Izuku unleashed a large burst of flame towards Murio, and as he predicted, Murio appeared behind him. Izuku. Now, I launch another flame towards Murio's face. Okay, I grab Murio's leg, much to his surprise. While you dodge that flame, the rest is solid. Murio. Did you guess? He was slammed to the ground. Najire and Tamaki were surprised to see that they managed to hit Murio. Izuku was about to attack again, but Murio knocked him out with a punch to the stomach. Aizawa. The fight is over, Tagata wins. Murio. I admit it hurt, cracking his back. After an explanation of Murio's quirk, everyone returned to the dormitories. Izuku. Does it still hurt? Putting on a shirt, it really hits hard. Kyoka. Rubbing her stomach, not so much anymore. She saw him. What about you? Izuki. Touched her stomach. Oh, it still hurts. I hope I didn't break anything. Kyoka. And do you already know who you'll be doing your internship with? Izuku. I'd forgotten. Maybe with my mom and the others. Lying down. Kyoka. I'd like to train more in hand-to-hand combat. Maybe I'll go with death arms again. Izuku. And what about Aizawa-sensei? He's good at hand-to-hand combat. Kyoka. Maybe I'll ask him. She hugged her boyfriend and started to sleep. Izuku and his family were in the forest to carry out a patrol. Mandalay. Very well, looked at his team. We will conduct surveillance on the established perimeter. Everyone. Yes. 1 hour later, Izuku was walking peacefully through the forest until he heard some noises. Izuku. Hello. He saw some bushes moving. He ignited his hand with fire and approached the bushes. Some rabbits came out of the bushes. Izuku. Oh, I almost burned you guys. He put out his fire and continued walking. He continued walking for about 30 minutes. During that time he felt as if someone was watching him. Izuku. I feel like someone's been watching me for the past few minutes. Looked around him. Without realizing it, he had stepped on a rope that hung him upside down. Izuku. A trap. He saw his leg with the rope. Judging by the size, it doesn't seem to be for small animals, maybe only for protection or deer. He stopped thinking when he heard footsteps approaching him. She turned her gaze towards the footsteps and saw a white-haired girl, about 6 years old, wearing what appeared to be a torn dress with some parts repaired with leaves. Izuku. Oh, hello little one. The girl approached him. Did you make this? The girl looked at him curiously. Girl. Touches Izuku's face. Izuku. Hey, the girl wiggles her cheeks. That's my face. Then the girl saw Izuku's suit where she saw him for a moment. Girl. She ran away. Izuku. Hey, wait. He burned the rope and followed the girl. I reached her and saw her looking for something among a pile of clothes. Takes something and approaches Izuku. Incineroar shows an Izuku plushie. Izuku. Oh, yes, it's me. He crouched down a little. Where are your parents? Pice. Confused. Izuku. You know, Mom. Dad, he asked, fearing the worst. Sad face points to a place. Izuku went in the direction where he saw a completely destroyed car. Izuku. Oh God. A few minutes later, Izuku stood with his family as a truck hauled away the car and an ambulance took away the bodies of the girl's parents. Mandalay. According to doctors, the girl has a head injury. That must be why she doesn't remember anything after the accident. Izuku. Any idea how the accident happened? Pixie. Judging by the state of the bodies, it seems to have happened a week ago. Tiger. And from what we found, the girl's name is Eri. Izuku watched Eri being examined by the doctors while playing with the plushie. Izuku. What will happen to her? Ragdoll. She has no close relatives, so she will be taken to an orphanage. Eri. Incineroar. She went to Izuku and hugged his leg. Izuku. Hi. Eri smiles and picks her up. Eri. Incineroar, she said with some difficulty. Izuku. Smiled. Yes, that's me. Lowered his ears. You'll go to a better place now. Eri. She saw him. Izuku. But I promise I'll visit you. The doctors were about to take Eri, but she clung to Izuku. Eri. No Afarada. Izuku. Izuku. Mom. He saw his mother. Mandalay. I think I have an idea. I smile. Days later. Nimari. Entering the house. What do you mean you're pregnant? She saw Shino. On the sofa with a bulging belly. That's right, look, points to himself. Nimari. Approached him. What? She knelt down. Did you cheat on me? Tears welled up. Shino. Saw her and laughed. Of course not. Silly. Took off the fake belly. It's fake. Nimari. Sniff. You shouldn't joke about that. Shino. Although technically you are a mother. Nimari looked at her confused Eri. Then Eri emerged from a small fort made of sheets and approached Shino. Nimari. Is she? Shino. This is Eri. I'm holding her. I decided to adopt her a few days ago. Nimari. Oh, Shino. Besides, if we decide to have a baby, you would be the one to get pregnant. Nimari. And why me? I don't want to lose my figure. Shino. Don't you want to have a baby? Nimari. Of course, but since you already have experience with that. I thought you wanted to get pregnant. Shino. We'll discuss that later. Nimari. Crouches down and pets Eri. Hello little one, I'm Nimari Kayama. Eri. Nemu, Aama. Nimari. Almost smiled. And where is Izuku? Shino. She's in her room with Kyoka. In Izuku's room. He and Kyoka were watching a movie. Kyoka. So now you have a sister eating popcorn. Izuku. Okay. Kyoka. I guess I need your little sister's blessing now. She smiled. Izuku. Yeah, hee, but he still needs to learn a lot of things. Kyoka. Well, let's hope that blow didn't affect him too much. Izuku. According to the doctors, he didn't suffer any serious injuries, so it would take him a few months to remember most things. Kyoka. That's good to know. She smiled and continued eating popcorn, then ate some rolls. Izuku. You really do eat a lot. Looking at her. Kyoka. Sees him. Did you call me fat? Izuku. And no. Kyoka. But you thought about it raising her jacks. Izuku. Of course not, somewhat scared. Kyoka. Okay. Lowering her jacks. Izuku. Gordy. Kyoka. Now then. Lunging at Izuku. With older women. They were drinking coffee until they heard a scream. Izuku. Wait. Don't bite me. Ah, Nimori. It looks like we'll be grandmothers soon, haha. Shino. No, those are shouts because Izuku said something to Kyoka that upset her. Nimori. How do you know? Shino. I've known her for years, smiled. 3 years had passed. During that time a great war took place between heroes and villains. The heroes had won, although some lives were lost. Midnight was badly injured, Kyoka lost an ear, and many other heroes still had other serious injuries. Luckily, Eri was able to control her gift and heal everyone. Shino and Nomori's wedding also took place. They decided to have a small ceremony with only family and friends. Now, 2 months after graduating from UA, Izuku and Kyoka were looking at apartments to have their own home. Kyoka. What do you think of this one? She points to the photo on the laptop. It has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a living room, dining room, kitchen, and garden. Izuku. It's not bad, he looked at it, but I'd like one with more rooms. Kyoka. We're not going to have children yet, she saw him. It's not that I wouldn't like to, but we've only just begun our work as professional heroes. Izuku. I'm sorry, I was just saying to have everything ready. Besides, you know money isn't a problem, I still have plenty of work from wrestling. Kyoka. I know, but for now I just want something small for the 2 of us. Kisses Izuku. Izuku. I understand, smiles. Then Shino came in with some cups of tea. Shino. Did you find any good ones? She puts the tea on the nightstand. Kyoka. Yep, we'll go see him tomorrow. She stretched. Shino. That's great. Days later, Izuku and Kyoka had finally bought their apartment and were now going to get their things to move in. Kyoka. She was at her parents' house packing her things into boxes. Kyoka. Putting away some guitars, very good. Mika. Do you have everything? And your things at UA? Kyoka. They'll send them to the department tomorrow. She sealed the box with tape. His mother could only look with some sadness at the now empty room where he had been noticed by Kyoka. Kyoka. Mom, I'm not leaving forever, she saw her. Obviously I'll come back to visit you. Mika. I lose, sob, my little girl has grown up. Kyoka. Don't cry, hugs her, who reciprocates, come here too, old man. She saw her father by the door. Kyotoku. He joined the hug. After a few minutes, their parents finally calmed down, and then they heard a car horn. Kyoka. It must be Izuku, she said, grabbing some boxes and opening the door. Everything's ready, Izuku. Let's go upstairs. Enters the house. Hello, in-laws. Mika. Izuku our. Kyotoku. I hope you take very good care of your daughter, young man. Izuku. Of course. When they finished carrying the boxes upstairs, they both said goodbye to Mika and Kyotoku and went to their new home. Upon arriving at their new home, they began to clean, unload things, and arrange some furniture. Izuku. That's it. He looked at the furniture. There are still some missing, but they'll arrive tomorrow. Kyoka. Now I just want to rest. Lying down on the sofa. Izuku lay down beside her, embracing her. Kyoka. Izuku started kissing her neck. Hey, don't do that, she complained, but at the same time she liked it. Izuku. I think you like it, he said, continuing to put his hand under Kyoka's blouse. Kyoka. Is he in his phase? maybe he'll just let it go today, she thought before climbing on top of Izuku. Relax, kitty, I'll give the orders now, she smiled. That night Kyoka learned to tame a tiger. The next morning, the couple was sleeping peacefully, until the sun's rays struck Kyoka, forcing her to wake up. Kyoka. I hate you, Sol, she said, hiding her face in Izuku's chest. Izuku. He opened his eyes and saw his girlfriend. Good morning. Kyoka. Good morning. Izuku started to get up. Don't get up. Izuku. Don't you want your breakfast? He looked at her. Kyoka. You know I love your food, and I don't think I can walk after what happened last night. Izuku. Oh hee. I understand, if you want I can bring it to you. Kyoka. Okay, she let go of Izuku. Izuku. I'll be right back. He put on his pajama pants and went to the kitchen. Kyoka. My legs, she stood up a little, I'm not going to be the dominant one again, she stroked her legs. But he realized something. Kyoka. Did I give Izuku those scratches on his back? She wondered to herself when she saw Izuku's back and those bites. She remembered the bite marks on Izuku's shoulders and to think he made me act like a wild animal. Blushing. A few minutes later Izuku arrived with breakfast. They both ate and lay down again for a little while longer to watch television. Izuku. Kyoka. Kyoka. See, Izuku. Marry me, Kyoka. Voa Izuku con sorpresa. Izuku. Maybe I should have waited to take you out to dinner he said somewhat nervously as he reached down his pants to take out a small box. Kyoka. Izuku, looking at the small box. Izuku. When we were kids, I made you a promise that I would marry you, opened the small box, revealing a ring. Would you let me keep that promise? Kyoka just started to shed tears. Kyoka. Silly cat, sobs, of course I accept. Izuku put the ring on Kyoka's finger and she threw herself at him, kissing him. Kyoka. Although I don't think I can wear white because of you, she looked at him mockingly. Izuku. You decided to tame the tiger, remember? Years later, Izuku was in the dining room finishing up some paperwork. Izuki. I'm finally done, stretches. A little 5-year-old girl approached Izuku. Dad, Izuku saw her, what is this? She showed Izuku's old mask. Izuku. My old pet, I pick it up, where did you get this? From a box in your room. Izuku. You shouldn't go through our things without permission, young lady. Curiosity gets the better of me, he saw his father. Izuku. And don't you know that curiosity killed the cat? But I'm not a cat, shows his jacks, but my little brother inside mom is. Izuku. Yeah he looked at his daughter, well, let me tell you. A story later, his daughter was fascinated to learn that her father, before becoming a hero, was a great fighter. Then I want to be a fighter too, and I'll call myself Toracat. Izuku. I thought you weren't a cat. He saw his daughter. But it's a great name, pouted Izuku. And he is, smiled, but I don't think he's right for you, darling. Her daughter thought about it for a moment. Then I'll leave it to my little brother, Izuku smiled, I'm sure he'll be a great fighter. Izuku. I'm sure it will be. He picks her up. Now let's go to your mother, then we'll go to your grandmother's. Yes. 1 year after the war, Nimari was with Izuku in the teacher's lounge. She had a nervous look. Izuku. Why am I called sensei? He looked at her curiously. Nimari. Well, I want your blessing to ask Shino to marry me. Izuku's eyes widened in surprise upon hearing her. Izuku. Is he going to propose to her? Nimari. That's right, I take out a small box, and I know you accepted my relationship with your mother, but I want your blessing to marry her. Izuku. Smiled, you didn't need my permission for that. He looked at her, you have my blessing to marry my mother. Please make her very happy. Nimari. Thank you, smiles. Izuku. It's nothing. Mom, smiled. Nimari. Sniff. Izuku. Too soon. Nimari. No, I'm just touched that you called me that he wipes away tears. Izuku. Is there anything I can help you with? Nimari. I already know the place where I want to propose to him. She gave Izuku a brochure. Izuku. Saw the pamphlet, Alola. Do you want to order it there? Nimari. That's right, but I can't just tell him to come with me there because that would be too suspicious and would ruin the surprise. Izuku. I understand, she wants a reason for me to accompany her. Nimari. Correct, I agree. Izuku. Looked at the pamphlet again, Battle Royale Dome. I think I have an idea. Smiled. Days later, on a direct flight to Alola. Shino. I can't believe you were invited to participate in a fight here in Alola. Nimari. Genial Izuku. Izuku. Yes, smiled, I was surprised too when they sent me the invitation. Tomoko. Reading about the Royal Dome, so 4 people face off at the same time until only one remains standing. Chitora. A challenge for a true fighter. Ryako. I hope you win, Kitty. Kyoka. Yo Agwal. Eri and Kota were looking out the window. Kota. We're here, Eri. Incredible. Looking at the region. The plane landed, everyone got off and went to the hotel where they would stay. Izuku. My fight starts tomorrow afternoon, so you can go for a walk in the meantime. Ryako. Come on, Tomoko taking her arm, I saw some beautiful dresses nearby. Tomono. Okay, let's go eat later. Being led by Ryako. Chitora. I'll go to the hotel pool. Kota. We'll go with you, he takes his swimsuit. Eri. Yes, she took her suit and they both went with Chitora. Shino. Don't forget to put on sunscreen. The children nodded. Kyoka. Saw Izuku and he nodded. Izuku and I will rest for a while before going for a walk. She took Izuku to the room. So leaving alone to Shino and Numari. Nimari. Well, do you want to go for a walk on the beach? Shino. Sure, on the beach at sunset. Shino and Nimari were walking along this. Shino. So you're going to retire from heroism? He saw Nimari. Nimari. Yes, I decided it was time to retire, stretched, but I will still continue teaching at the academy. Shino. That's good to know. Nimari. I'm surprised you haven't retired a while ago. She looked at her, with being a mother, I thought you'd retire to take care of Izuku. Shino. I admit I thought about it, but I managed to make time for Izuku and my work. Nimari. And are you still in shape? She looked at her. Shino. Why are you asking? A mistaken Nimari strike. I see, you won't defeat me, hero. Nimari. Smiled, I'm going to defeat you, villain. They both fought for a minute until Shino managed to knock Nimari down. Shino. Are you going to become a hero now? She said mockingly. Nimari. Well, I knelt down. Shino watched her until she noticed her taking something out of her pocket. Nimari. Opening the small box, showing the ring. I'm going to catch you. Smiled. Shino saw the ring, gasped in surprise, and blushed. Nimari. Shino Sosaki, take Asaria's conmigo. Shino began to shed tears. Shino. Crying, yes, yes, I accept. Nimari smiled and put the ring on her finger. Nimari stood up and kissed Shino on the lips. Shino. Did you already have this planned? Wiping away tears. Nimari. Tuva Yuta de Izuku. Shino. So, Nimari. We didn't just come to participate in the Royal Dome, we also came to propose to you, hihi. Shino. Smiled, let's tell the others. Both returned to the hotel. 5 months later, on the wedding day, everyone was in a church. Ryako. I thought I'd never see you in a wedding dress, Shino. Finishing her friend's hair. Shino. Honestly, I feel like this is a dream. Looking at herself in the mirror. Tomoko. Smiled, now for the makeup. She started applying Shino's makeup. After a while, they finally finished adding Shino. Ryako. We're going to our posts. She said goodbye and left with Tomoko. Shino looked at himself in the mirror until he saw Izuku enter the room. Izuku. Wow, you look very beautiful, Mom. Smiles. Shino. Thank you, Izuku. She stood up from her chair. I wish your father could have seen me like this too. She smiled slightly. Izuku. I'm sure he'd be fascinated. He saw her and happy to see you found someone to continue your life with. He offered his arm. Well, Nimari, wait. Shino. Takes his daughter's arm. Let's go. At the altar, Nimari waited there with some nervousness. Mike. Next to Nimari, the +18 heroine is nervous, hihi, she said somewhat mockingly. Nimari. Shut up, he saw it. Aizawa. Just relax, Kayama. Nimari. You say it like it's fact. Music started playing. There he saw Izuku and Shino walking towards the altar. Izuku, leaving his mother at the altar, take good care of my mother. He saw Nimari. Nimari, I will taking Shino's hand, you look beautiful. Shino, you too, smiled. Both women cast their votes, and then the priest spoke. Father, Nimari, do you take Shino to be your wife, to love and cherish her until death do you part? Nimari, accept. Father, and you, Shino, do you take Nimari as your wife, to love and cherish her until death do you part? Shino, I accept. Father, by the power vested in me by the Lord, I now pronounce you wife and wife. You may kiss the bride. Slowly they both approached each other until they shared a tender and soft kiss like wives. People started to applaud. The party continued with great happiness and peace. Shino and Nimari, ready. Looking at the girls who wanted to catch the bouquet. Girls. Yes, Shino and Nimari, here it goes. They threw the bouquets. The girls tried to catch the bouquets. After a few seconds, Ryuko and Kyoka came out. Ryuko. Yes, happy. Kyoka. Oh kitty, she saw her boyfriend. Izuku. Ha ha, blushing. Izuku and Kyoka were sleeping peacefully in a dark room. 2 years had passed since they got married. Since then they had lived quietly. Izuku has reached the top 2 while Kyoka has reached the top 11. But today they were going to have a surprise they weren't expecting. Kyoka. Waking up, damn son. She rubbed her eyes and saw her husband, hey. She kissed him on the cheek and got up, at least we have a day off from work today. She went to the bathroom. She started brushing her teeth calmly, or maybe she even felt like throwing up. Kyoka. It can't be. She ran to the toilet and vomited. Izuku. Waking up, He hears Kyoka vomiting, what the? He went to the bathroom and saw her. Kyoka. Are you okay? He approached her. Kyoka. Yes, no, she vomited again. Izuku. Do you want me to go get you some pills? Kyoka. Thinking about something, don't worry, it was probably the dinner that made me sick. Izuku. Well, not so sure. Kyoka. Now that I remember, I have to go with my mother for some things. Izuku. Okay, do you want me to come with you? Kyoka. Don't worry, it'll be quick. Izuku. Well, be careful. He kissed her cheek and went to the kitchen. Kyoka. I hope I'm wrong about what I'm thinking. After changing, she went to her parents' house. Kyoka. Knocks on the door. Kyotoku. Opens. Hello princess, it's been a while. Kyoka. Hi dad, hugs him, is mom home? I need to talk to her about something. Kyotoku. She must be doing laundry, I was cleaning the kitchen until you knocked on the door. Kyoka. Okay, she went to her mother. Mom. Mika. Hi honey, greeting, what brings you here? Kyoka. I need help with something. Mika just watched her daughter take something out of her pocket, a pregnancy test. Mika. Let's go to the room. A few minutes later. Kyoka. Coming out of the bathroom. Okay. Mika. Let's see the result. Both women saw the test result come back positive. Kyoka. Positivo. Mika. Positive, you're pregnant. Hugs her daughter. Kyotoku. What's wrong? He said, arriving in the room. Mika. Our daughter is pregnant. She shouts happily. Kyotoku. Pregnant. She saw her daughter, my little girl. She hugged her, tears welling in her eyes. Kyoka. He smiled, it's just. I don't know how I'm going to tell Izuku, she said, looking at the evidence. Mika. I'm sure he'll take it well, she takes her daughter's hands, he loves you too much to leave you for that. Kyotoku. Your mother is right, looked at her daughter, she'll take it well. Kyoka. Smiled, yes, you're right. At Shino and Nomori's house. Shino. So you're saying Kyoka was vomiting? Izuku. Yes, I asked her if she wanted some pills, but she said no and then went to her parents' house to pick something up, though she seemed a little nervous. She drank her tea. Nimari. Could she be pregnant? I commented. Izuku. PFF'd. Spits out tea, cough cough, pregnant. Nimari. You said he vomited. When was the last time you did that? Shino. Nimari. Lavio. Nimari. What? They're adults now and live on their own. Izuku. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, he said, blushing slightly. Nimari. Did they use protection? He saw it. Izuku. We've let ourselves go a bit lately. Nimari. Then the possibility that Kyoka is pregnant is very likely. Izuku. Pregnant, looking at his teacup. Nimari. Don't you want to have children? Izuku. Of course, it's just. I'm a little scared, lowers his ears. Shino. Fear. He saw his son. Izuku. Yeah, well, you know. I didn't grow up with a father, and the closest thing I had to one was Uncle Chitora, and from what you told me, he used to be a woman. He looked at his mother. Shino. That's right, Izuku. Even with Uncle Chitora as a father figure, I'm afraid I won't be a good father. Izuku. Or that something might happen to me and I won't be there for them. Shino. Izuku. She approached him and hugged him. I know you're going to be a great father and son. She looked at him, and remember, if you have any problems, you can always count on your family. Nimari nodded. Izuku. Smiled, thank you. Hours later at Denizuku and Kyoka's house. Kyoka. Entering Izuku. Sees him on the sofa watching television. Izuku. Sees her. Oh, hi. How did it go with your mother? Kyoka. Well, I need to talk to you about something. She sat down next to him. Izuku. Sure. He saw her taking something out of her pocket. Kyoka. I'm pregnant, shows the test with the positive result. Izuku simply took the test and looked at it for a few seconds. Kyoka. I found out when I was with my mother. I should have called you then, but Izuku hugged and kissed her. Izuku. The bear. Kyoka. And I love you too, smiles. 3 months. Kyotoku. Entering Izuku and Kyoka's house. How's my favorite chubby girl? She smiles. Kyoka. Sitting on the sofa. I'm going to hit you if you keep calling me chubby. Kyotoku. Hey, how bad are your mood swings? Kyoka. Old man. She looked at him irritably. Mika. Don't bother her anymore, Kyotoku. She sat down next to her daughter. How are you feeling, daughter? Kyoka. Very well, so far I haven't had anything bad, just a few cravings. Kyotoku. And where is Izuku? Kyoka. At work. I caress her belly. She's working really hard for the two of us. Well, the three of us. I smile. Mika. I'm sure she has a lot of paperwork now, hee. Kyoka. Yes, but I already know how to cheer him up. At Izuku and Kyoka's agency. Izuku. Damn paperwork. Yawns but hears his cell phone. Oh. Checks it. Kyoka. Another craving. Said to check the message. Love heart sent a photo. You do a great job, kitty heart. Izuku. Smiled. Alright, let's finish this paperwork. He said, now motivated. 6 months. Kyoka and her mothers-in-law were about to find out the baby's gender. Doctor. Let's see. She started checking the screen. Shino. Do you see anything? Looking at the screen. Doctor. Yes, it appears to be a girl. Smiles. Kyoka. A girl. Smiled. Doctor. It seems there's something here. Looking at the screen. Nimari. Pasa algo. Doctor. Don't worry, it seems the baby has your quirk, Miss Sosaki. She saw Kyoka. Kyoka. My quirk. She looked at the screen. I think I won the bet with Izuku, hee. 9 months. At the hospital, Kyoka was in labor, squeezing the hand of a transformed Izuku. Kyoka. I swear I'm going to kill you after this, Izuku. She said furiously while pushing. Izuku. Oh, of course, dear, kneeling and enduring the pain. Meanwhile, outside the delivery room were Izuku and Kyoka's relatives. Shino. It really takes that long, she said, seeing that 4 hours had already passed. Chitora. It's normal. Tomoko. You took 7 hours. Ryoko. You know how worried we were when you gave birth, reading a magazine. Mika. I hope everything goes well. Kyotoku. Don't worry, honey, everything will be alright. Then they heard Kyoka scream. Kyoka. I'm going to kill you for doing this to me. All. Kota and Eri. Wow. Kyotoku. It reminded me of you. He looked at his wife. You told me you were going to castrate me. Mika. Ha ha, laughs, embarrassed. 2 hours later, they all entered the room and saw Izuku crying with a bandaged hand and Kyoka carrying the baby. Izuku. She's so cute and small, tears welling up. Kyoka. Are you still crying? Calm down, you'll carry her now. Mika. Let us see the daughter. Kyoka uncovered the baby a little. She had purple and green streaks of hair next to her jacks. Ryoko. Born. Tomoko. It's like a fusion of both of them. Hehe, looking at the baby. Shino. And what will it be called? Izuku. Well, he saw his wife. Kyoka. Kyozu. Kyozu Sosaki, Sanrio. Everyone watching Kyozu. Everyone. Welcome Kyozu. Izuku was having breakfast in the dining room. Beside him was a purple-haired boy with cat ears and a tail. He was his second son, Hisashi Sosaki, aged 12. Like his father, he inherited his tiger quirk, but without the fire. Oh, Izuku. Is that girl just getting up? He saw his eldest daughter, Kyozu, enter the kitchen. Didn't you set the alarm? Kyozu. I forgot to put it on. Grabbing his breakfast and eating quickly, I'm going to be late. Hisashi. How could you forget on your first day of classes at UA? Eating. Kyozu. Shut up. He saw him. What about you? Why are you still at home? Izuku. I'll take him. He looked at his daughter. I'll take him using my quirk. Too bad I can't take you since your schools are in different directions. Kyozu. Damn it. Finishes breakfast. I'm leaving. Leaves. Kyoka. Arriving carrying a 3-year-old girl. That girl needs to be more responsible. Putting her daughter in her chair. What about you, young man? She looked at her son. Hisashi. Dad's going to take me. Finishes his breakfast. Ready. Grabs his backpack. Izuku. Okay. Finishes his coffee. I'll see you later at the agency. Kisses his wife. Kyoka. First I'll take him to my parents' house. She saw her youngest daughter, so I'll be a little while. Izuku. Okay. He stroked his daughter. See you later. He left with his son. 1 hour later, Kyoka arrived at her parents' house and knocked on the door. Mika. Opening the door. Hello daughter. She saw her granddaughter. Hello little Haim. Haim. Smile. Kyoka. I'll come back for her later. Mika. Sure. But then they heard the news on television. Reporter. In other news, hero number 2, Incineroar, has been badly injured. Mika and Kyoka were surprised and rushed to watch television. Kyoka. What? Watching TV. Reporter. According to witnesses, the villains attacked the hero by surprise. After a tough battle, Incineroar managed to defeat most of the villains, but one managed to attack him from behind, cutting off his arm. Kyoka paled upon hearing that and seeing the video of Izuku still fighting without his arm. Reporter. Luckily, nearby heroes arrived in time to prevent a tragedy. Incineroar has now been transported to the nearest hospital for recovery. Mika. Oh my god. Kyoka. I have to go with him. She leaves her daughter on the sofa. Mika. I'll call your father. We'll see you there. Kyoka nodded and left. At the hospital, Kyoka. Arriving at the reception. I'm Kyoka Sosaki, wife of Incineroar. Which room are you in? Receptionist. Checks room 23, second floor. Kyoka. Thank you. She went towards the room but was surprised to see her son there. Hisashi. She went to him. What are you doing here? Hisashi. I was with Dad when he was attacked. He was about to drop me off at school when the villains arrived, wiping away tears. Kyoka. There, stroking her son's head. Your dad is strong, he'll be alright. A larger woman emerged from the room. Kyoka. Eri. She saw her. Are you the doctor in charge of Izuku? How is he? Eri. She's out of danger now. Smiled, but I need her to rest first so I can use my quirk to heal her major injuries. Kyoka. Sighs in relief. I see, thank you. Eri. Nodded. You can go see it. I have other matters to attend to. She said and left. Kyoka. Do you want to see it? She saw her son. Hisashi. I stroke his arm. I don't think I'm ready, after seeing that. Kyoka. Do you want to go with your grandmothers until your father recovers? Hisashi. See. Kyoka. I'll call them. Takes out her phone. After calling her mothers-in-law and telling them what happened, Kyoka entered the room and saw Izuku. Izuku. Saw her. Hello, sweetheart. Kyoka. Approached him. Don't worry me like that, idiot. Hugged him. Izuku. I'm sorry. Smiled slightly. It was a surprise attack and they caught me off guard. Kyoka. Noticed that her left arm was missing. Heavens. Izuku. Don't worry, Eri said she could rewind it. Kyoka. Lo say. Izuku. How is Hisashi? He saw his wife. Kyoka. I called your mothers to come and get him to calm him down a bit, then they'll come to see you. Izuki. I see. He saw Kyoka trembling and took her hand. I'm sorry for worrying you so much. Kyoka. Saw him, silly cat, hugged him. How long ago did you worry me so much? Izuku. I think it was at camp. He strokes his girlfriend's back. A few hours later, Shino and Nimari had visited Izuku, as had Kyoka's parents. Then Eri was able to rewind Izuku's arm and told him to take a few days to get used to it. The next day, Izuku was in his bed doing his exercises to get used to his arm. Izuku. I think that's enough for now. He saw the door open but didn't see anyone. Oh, hee. He peeked around the side of the bed and saw his daughter, Haim. Appa saw him. Izuku. Hello little one, picks her up. What's wrong? Haim. I'm hungry, she said mentally to Izuku. Izuku. Did you just talk to me telepathically? You have your grandma's quirk. He kisses her cheek. Haim. Ha. Kyoka. Entering. What's going on? She saw Izuku. Izuku. The princess awakened her quirk. Kyoka. Really? She approached him. And what is it? Izuku. He inherited his grandmother's quirk. Smiled. Kyoka. Really? Okay. Haim picks up her daughter. But don't think I didn't notice what you did. Izuku. What did she do? He saw his wife pick up a picture frame. Kyoka. Jirro, la photo familiar. Haim. Forgive me, she said sadly. Izuku. Okay, we can have another one. He smiled at his daughter. Kyoka. Then let's go now that everyone's home. Izuku. Good. The day after Nimari and Shino's marriage proposal, Izuku's family was at the Royal Dome in the Alola region. Announcer. Welcome to this great fight today. The audience got excited. We have 4 great fighters today. A light came on in a hallway. Presenter. Straight from the Hoenn region, he's known for his incredible blazing kicks, the fighter. Blaziken. Blaziken jumped out and landed in one of the corners of the ring. Announcer. In the second corner, a light flashed, comes from the Sinnoh region, the Aura fighter. Lucario. Presenter. In the third corner we have the electric feline that comes from this very region. Zeraora. Announcer. And in the final corner, direct from Japan, Musudafu, currently ranked number 6 in Japan's top hero rankings, the Fire Tiger. Incineroar. Izuku, transformed, leapt into the ring. The crowd roared with excitement upon seeing the wrestlers. Izuku and Kyoka's family. That's our boyfriend, cousin. Referee. I want a clean fight. He looked at them. Remember, the use of quirks is allowed. Begin. He used his whistle. Zeraora and Lucario started fighting. Incineroar. Saw Blaziken, so, fire against fire, which will win? Blaziken. We have to find out. Blaziken's legs burst into flames as it launched itself into Incineroar. Incineroar blocked the kicks with his arms. Incineroar. From what I can see, it specializes in kicks. They both continued fighting until they had to dodge a natural sphere from Lucario. Incineroar. That's right, it's every man for himself. If we don't pay attention to the others, we'll be defeated even faster. Asterisk. Then I grab Blaziken's leg, spin him around, and throw him at Zeraora, momentarily knocking him down. Incineroar lunged at Lucario with its hands ablaze, and they began exchanging blows. Tomoko. It is quite a battle eating popcorn. Shino. I hope Izuku can win. Ryoko. Come on, kid. Kota and Eri. Let's go. Incineroar grabbed Lucario by the arms and started spinning him around, then threw him against the ropes, which pushed him towards Izuku, where he punched her, knocking her out. Announcer. Lucario is out of the fight. Some people carried him out of the ring. Kyoka. That's my boyfriend. Incineroar. Hee. Suddenly, Incineroar and Blaziken felt an electric shock run through their bodies. Zeraora. Don't forget about me, she said while charging electricity in her arms. Incineroar and Blaziken charged fire in their hands, feet and launched themselves at Zeraora. A large cloud of smoke formed in the ring, preventing everyone from seeing. Presenter. Both attacks collided, you can't see anything. As the smoke began to dissipate, Zeraora saw Blaziken nearby. Zeraora. Damn it. Blaziken started kicking him several times. Zeraora. Ah. Blaziken kicked him in the stomach, sending him flying upwards, and then delivered another kick that knocked him out of the ring. Announcer. Zeraora is out. Only Blaziken and Incineroar remain. Who will win? Blaziken. No matter who wins, I hope there's no hard feelings. Looking at Incineroar. Incineroar. Of course he saw it come here. Both of them covered their bodies in fire and launched themselves into battle. The audience watched in amazement as blows were exchanged. Eri. It's starting to get hot, wiping away sweat. Kota. Yes, touching his forehead. Nimuri. It's a fiery battle. Tomoko. Neither of them has any weaknesses in this fight, seeing them with their quirk active. Chitora. So neither of them plans to lose. Shino. Vamos Izuku. Both fighters separated, breathing heavily. Blaziken. You're good. Incineroar. I say the same. Blaziken. But, you're not fighting with everything, are you? He saw it. Incineroar. Hey, I think you figured it out, smiles, well, takes a deep breath and. Presenter. Incineroar's musculature has increased. Ryuko. Now it's for real, eats popcorn. Kyoka. Thinking unholy thoughts. Incineroar. Now, shall we continue? I smile. Blaziken just smiled before launching itself at Incineroar. They exchanged blows again, but this time Incineroar had a slight advantage. Blow after blow, neither seemed willing to stop their attacks, until everyone saw Blaziken begin to retreat. Blaziken and Incineroar. Raj. They delivered their final blow to each other's faces. The entire audience saw them both fall to the ground. Announcer. Both wrestlers have fallen to the ground. Who will be the first to get up? The entire audience was silent, waiting for someone to stand up. Izuku's family. Let's go, Izuku. Everyone watched until Incineroar got up with some difficulty. Referee. Incineroar is the first to stand. Therefore, he is the winner. Announcer. Incineroar is the winner of the Royal Dome. Izuku's family. Yes, Incineroar. Heavens, I think I'll take a break from fighting. Sits down. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and make sure to like and please hype this video. Now we will see you in the next video.